call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't wanna tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you, I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you have. There's no way out of this. This life is all you get. One shot to take. Don't miss, just make. Don't get it twisted. We're on a mission to live life legendary. Yeah, we are legendary. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names.
Gunter goes in motion out to the right. They give it to Penn running up the middle. Big hole. He's going to go. Davis Penn. No one touched him into the end zone for 6. No pressure off that left edge. Here it comes. Taylor trying to roll away from it. Changing directions. Fires down the sideline. Intercepted. Picked off by the Dragons. This is Coons with running room. He could go all the way inside the 10. He will take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Carroll. Carroll backs off the pressure. They rush 4. Run a twist up front over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off again by Carroll. This time it's Will Lines on the INT. Brenda looking to throw. Goes end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Brock Boyd.
He had Boyd there out on the right side, but great job on finding Hayden Mackey just there here on the inside slant route. Great job getting in the end zone. Great reception, Hayden Mackey.
They'll shift some things around. Rush 3. Brenda looking to throw. Pumps a couple of times. Now flushed out. Goes to the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Dragons. This time it's Blake.
The Dragons closed out their undefeated season with a strong victory over the Chargers. Tonight, the playoffs begin against the Crowley Eagles.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Dragon Football Night pregame show sponsored by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Now here are your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
It's playoff time at Dragon Stadium in Southlake as the Carroll Dragons host the Crowley Eagles in the Bi-District Ground. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by White's Chapel Methodist Church. Hi there and welcome into the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, our director Tim Polster, and statistician Brandy Davidson. The Dragons come in 10-0 off of a Week 11 bye, having completed, even by their standards, a dominant regular season. Carroll's offense outscored opponents by an average margin of 44.5 points a game this year, while the defense held teams to 7 points or fewer 7 separate times. The Eagles, meanwhile, had to wait until the final night of the season to learn their playoff fate. It took Mansfield Lake Ridge beating Boswell last Friday to give Crowley the edge in a 3-way tie in District 3-6A over Boswell and Mansfield Legacy. The Eagles went 3-7 on the year and 2-4 in district play. So, Robert, before we get to tonight's game, to the playoffs in general, it's almost hard to put in perspective the dominance of Carroll in the 10 regular season games.
Well, Chris, it is really hard to put in perspective how dominant the Dragons were in the regular season. They just didn't win. They overwhelmed opponents. Their offense was explosive, again, ranking near the top of the league in scoring, and their defense allowed some of the fewest points all year, only 7.4 points a game. Most of their games were decided long before the fourth quarter, and they often made teams look completely overmatched. So in short, the Dragons just weren't better. They were historically good. That kind of balance and consistency across an entire season is rare, and it's why they head into playoffs as heavy favorites.
Heavy favorites also because it's, again, this group of returners that reached the title game last year. They've kept their focus on one opponent at a time all season long for 10 consecutive weeks. Now they're in position to start that run to try to get back to AT&T Stadium in December. Does it become any more of a challenge to keep those blinders on once you get to the playoffs?
No, I think for a team like this, staying grounded is what you worked for all year. I mean, it's no different from week one to the first week in the playoffs. We're talking preparation, execution, and not getting caught up in the noise. And the coaching staff has done a terrific job of keeping them locked in, and the players have a veteran experience, like you mentioned, from last year's run, which should help them handle this pressure that they see coming up in the playoffs. Coach Dodge mentioned this week. Everyone has a job to do, from the sidelines, the backup to the starter, so succeed at your job.
On the other side of the field tonight, they'll take on a Crowley team that has had a lot of success the last couple of years. They've gone a combined 15-9 in the first 2 years under third-year head coach Carlos Lynn. They made the third round of the playoffs last year. This year, though, they go just 3-7. As we mentioned, snuck in on that final day via tiebreaker. So what was the difference in this year's team?
Well, I think when you turn on the game film, you can see that they have talent. The talent's everywhere. I think they were competitive in those losses, but the margins just didn't go their way. The positive is that they still found a way to battle through and grab the playoff spot on the final night, which says a lot about the culture, the fight in the locker room. Now, the question is whether they can recapture some of that magic from last year and play really loose with nothing to lose. And Coach Lynn has been here before.
He's plenty playoff experience, was the head coach at Cedar Hill before he got to Crowley, which, of course, has had plenty of playoff success in the 2000s. So that's the scene tonight here at Dragon Stadium. Again, we are audio only tonight due to restrictions, but get to hang out with me and Robert here for the next few hours on your Thursday night. Carroll's road to the playoffs looks like this. They take on Crowley tonight. A round 2 matchup would conceivably be between the winner of El Paso Pebble Hills and San Angelo Central. That game is also being played tonight, so Carroll won't have to wait until Friday to know who their second round opponent will be should they beat the Eagles tonight. But still to come on the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show, we'll hear from Dragon head coach Riley Dodge and bring you tonight's starting lineups. But first, it's our Players Spotlight. That's next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Welcome back to the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show as we get you set for the bi-district round between the Dragons and the Crowley Eagles. Chris Blake alongside Robert Clayton. And this is a Crowley team that, yes, went 3-7 a year or this season, but don't let that fool you from a talent standpoint. There's plenty of individual talent in this group. A couple of guys going on to play Division I football at the Power 4 level, and there are some individual matchups for the Dragons that we'll want to keep an eye on. Let's start with what Brock Boyd's matchup looks like tonight. Boyd cemented his place in Carroll history this year, setting career records for catches and receiving yards. As we take a look at some of his highlights over the course of the regular season. And Robert, he'll have a difficult matchup tonight against cornerback Brandon Ford, who's committed to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I mean, Boyd's been unbelievable. The definition of reliable. He's got that combination of route running, strong hands that makes him a nightmare to cover. But you're right, Brandon Ford is no slouch. He's a physical at the line player, plays with great anticipation, and he's got the speed to stay with receivers downfield. That one-to-one matchup could end up being one of the key battles in this game. You know, for Carroll, it's all about finding creative ways to get Boyd open, moving him around, using motion, maybe lining him up in the slot to create some mismatches. And for Ford, it's really about staying disciplined and not letting Boyd's experience and timing to create separation and get behind you.
Well, Brock Boyd this season had 58 catches, 905 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Last week, 4 grabs for 40 and 2 scores. He's going to Ohio State next year to continue his career. as we take a look at a few more of his touchdown receptions here. This one coming against Timber Creek. On the defensive side of the ball for the Dragons, let's talk about the defensive line. This group, Marcus Browse, Crawford Taylor, Jake Lucky, and Jackson Oakley, done a great job against the run this year and against the pass. Tonight, that group gets even deeper as we expect to see a heavier dose of Zach Hayes. He was injured in the season opener. We saw him a little bit last week in 2 weeks ago in limited situations, I should say, but he's expected to be back full tilt tonight.
It's a huge boost for the Carroll defensive front, Chris. Even without Hayes, that group has been dominated all year. And they've really controlled the line of scrimmage. They collapse the pocket. They make it really tough for opposing offensive lines to really get anything established. Adding Hayes back to the rotation really gives them another powerful body who can eat up blocks and create pressure. What makes this unit so effective is their depth and versatility. They can rotate fresh legs throughout the game and not really lose any production. And in the playoffs, where every snap matters, the physicality ramps up, having that kind of depth up front can make all the difference for a long run for the Dragons.
This is a Crowley offensive line that includes the left tackle in Alexander Herrera, who has several Division I offers. So what does that group look like that they'll be going up against tonight?
Yeah, they're facing an offensive line group that's shown flashes this year, but they've battled some inconsistency. I think it's a group that has good size and strength. They can move people when they get their hands set, but protection has been a little bit of an issue at times. Looking at it, going against a Carroll defensive line that's very athletic, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Well, that's what Brock Boyd could be going up against, what this Carroll defensive line could be going up against, and we'll talk more about some individual matchups as we get closer to kickoff here from Dragon Stadium. But when the Clayton & Clayton Real Estate pregame show continues, we'll hear from Carroll head coach Riley Dodge as we count you down to Carroll and Crowley on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Hey Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium as we get set for playoff football on this Thursday night. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. And Coach, spend 10 weeks getting to this point, then the bye week playoffs are finally here after a trip to the state title game last year. How hungry is this group to get back into the postseason?
Yeah, it's a group that's had an unbelievable regular season. We got our bodies back right during the bye week, and veteran group that's ready to rock and roll for the second season.
Couple of numbers you and I were just talking about. Ball security this year was incredible. 6 interceptions thrown by Angelo Renda. I believe the only turnovers for the offense. And on the defensive side, you guys hold opponents to under 8 points a game over the course of 10 weeks. What can you say about what this group accomplished in the regular season?
Yeah, it's just been a group that's reset each and every week. I think that's been the message in our locker room. The message each and every week is reset. Let's go again. Let's go get better. How do we get 1% better each and every week? And I feel like if we do that, then we're going to always put ourselves in a good position. But you're playing tournament football now, and the stakes get a little bit higher. Your sense of urgency goes up a little bit. But our guys have been really dialed in, and if we continue that mindset, we're going to be okay.
I know you wouldn't have minded a bye week during the first 10 weeks of this season, but now that it came in week 11, how did you spend it? What did you do maybe differently this year compared to last year to get ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, it's definitely, when we first got into this district and we got the last bye, didn't really know what to think about it, but, it's been a blessing. It's been good for our guys, kind of recharge as we go into the second part of our season. But, this program's always been about, what's in front of us. We never look ahead. Us as a staff, we don't game plan ahead. We focus on us during the bye week and just try to get better.
Couple of injury updates on the defensive side. On the positive end, you got a player back. Negative side, you're without one of your safeties tonight. Let's start with the positive. Zach Hayes, we saw him a little bit against Central. How has he progressed, and what role should we expect to see him in tonight?
Yeah, that's when we thought we'd get him back. Possibly Keller Central got him a little burn. And the bye week was good for him, get his legs underneath him again, and obviously go into this week. So his volume will jump for sure, which obviously helps our D-line. We just got a lot more athletic up front, and, just the depth that we've been able to build, without Zach in the lineup. And then, with Chin out, we have an unbelievable veteran secondary. We have a lot of guys who've played a lot of different positions in their career. Chin is definitely one of our leaders, and he's kind of the heartbeat of our locker room. And so we're definitely going to miss him in our lineup, but we'll have guys step up for sure.
Has he delivered any messages or anything like that to the rest of the defense?
Not necessarily, out loud in front of the team or anything, but, I'm sure in the locker room, and he's such an amazing leader. He's a lead by example type of guy. But he's been, unbelievable this week. Some guys that get hurt and kind of, disappear on you, but he is right there with the guys, towing the white line and in every meeting. So it's good to have that veteran presence in the room.
You take on a Crowley team here in the first round. Features a lot of really talented individual players. Went 3-7 this year and snuck into that 4th spot out of District 3-6A. Let's start on the defensive side. They've got a cornerback going to Oklahoma State in Brandon Ford. What does he do well, and how is he going to make things a challenge for your receivers?
Yeah, I think they really trust all of them, especially him. They're going to put him in a lot of one-on-one situations, put him on an island, and at times he'll travel with the best receiver. So we just got to be great route runners. We got to be, detailed in what we do and be physical at the top of our routes and get them off us. But, they do a really good job defensively. They got a lot of playmakers on that side of the football, and they really get to the ball as well.
On the offensive side, they feature one of the top receivers in the country in Tavius Ellis going to Nebraska. They've also got a big left tackle. Alexander Herrera goes 6'6", 315. What do you look for Crowley to do on the offensive side?
Yeah, I think they definitely want to establish a run. I think first and foremost, they have a couple running backs that can give you issues once they get out. But we got to find out where number one is at all times. First thing, we got to be great on first down. We got to put them in situations that are uncomfortable. We got to make the quarterback play quarterback and keep them in the well, keep them in the pocket. And I think if we do those things, we'll be okay.
How's the hair looking in the locker room?
We got a lot of guys that look the same. We got a lot of blonde hair. It's always funny, all of a sudden now you can't tell anybody apart. But we got some different shades of yellow hair in that locker room, but it just means it's playoff time in Southlake, Texas.
Bleached hair, black pants coming out for the Dragons as we head into the postseason. Carroll and Crowley coming up on the Dragon Sports Network.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place, from the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched. We're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Stephen Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion, or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Right side gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown Dragons. From Dragon Stadium in Southlake, it's the bi-district playoff round as the 10-0 and top-ranked team in the state, Carroll Dragons, take on the 3-7 Crowley Eagles. Hi there and welcome in to Dragon Stadium. Chris Blake alongside Robert Clayton, our statistician Brandy Davidson, and director Tim Polster tonight. And after 10 weeks plus a bye, the playoffs are finally here. The Dragons reached the title game last year at AT&T Stadium before losing a heartbreaker in the championship game, and that road back to Jerry World starts tonight as the Dragons take the field in Southlake. Carroll tonight wearing all black, Robert, for the first time in the Riley Dodge era.
And pretty incredible. It's something that Riley's been wanting to do. I tried to convince Riley to put on black helmets. He said, no way, Jose, we're not doing it. But it is a sharp look out there.
Do they have black helmets?
No, but I'm slowly trying to convince Riley to wear it for one game.
As we talk through this next few minutes as we get closer to kickoff, we'll have some graphics on the screen about how this Dragon offense and Crowley defense match up against each other and vice versa. They've already completed the coin toss here tonight. Crowley won and deferred to the second half. Coin toss, as always, brought to you by the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title. If you need title work, call Julie Walter. So Carroll has taken the field. Crowley getting ready to do the same as we take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Dragons, it's been consistent in the backfield all season long. Angelo Renda and Davis Penn. This pair, Robert, has been together for a long time and looking to make a run to the state championship game as seniors.
Yeah, we're talking about two individuals that played together since the Dragon youth football era, all the way through middle school and through high school. They've been just a dynamic duo for this Carroll offense.
The receivers that Renda will throw to, a group that has been outstanding all year. Brock Boyd, Brody Knowles, Blake Gunter, and Caden Mackey. The offensive line, Luke Wilson will be in the starting lineup tonight at left tackle. So it'll be then Will Barley, Kerry Clayton, Nathan Damaraki, and Tristan Dare as you look left to right.
Yeah, and this is a group that has been gelling all season. A lot of depth, even behind the ones, and it's great to see Luke Wilson back in the lineup this week. He adds another dimension of depth for this Carroll offensive line.
On the defensive side of the ball, Carroll gets Zach Hayes back at defensive end.
Yeah, incredible. We talked a little bit about that in the pregame, what he brings. Not only is he dynamic on special teams, but he is a force off the edge. He brings power and speed. He gets to the quarterback, and he's just an all-around terrific player. You pair that with Jake Lucky, Crawford Taylor, Marcus Sprouse, it's a lethal combination.
Linebackers and corners for the Dragons tonight, Robbie Ladd and Will Lyons, who have both been playing outstanding football over the last several weeks, and Taven Coons and Luke Busman on the outside. The safeties for Carroll, Dragons will be without William Chen tonight, so we expect to see Gavin Strange, Austin Busman, and Parker Harris in that mix as opposed to those 4 rotating in and out of the lineup. Let's take a look, Robert, at your keys to the game.
I think obviously, number one, you've got to keep the running back caught and contained. He's a dynamic running back, and he can get some yardage. You got to contain him behind the bigger offensive line. I think no matter what, you got to win the takeaway battle. You've got to create turnovers, and you got to capitalize on those. And I think for Carroll, you've got to stay ahead of the chains. Don't get back behind. This is a talented defense of Crowley when they want to play. So you've got to get those first downs, and you've got to be successful, create those third and short opportunities.
We pause now as the national anthem is performed here at Dragon Stadium.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
National anthem completed here at Dragon Stadium as we get set for playoff football on a Thursday night here in early November. Again, Crowley won the toss, deferred to the second half, so it will be Dragon football first. Our officials tonight, the referee is Jim Davis, the umpire Larry Wilson, the headline judge is Charles Saker, Dewan Gross is the side judge, Scott Huffman is the line judge, the field judge Odell McGee, and the back judge is Michael Camp. So, Robert, as this group makes its way onto the field, I would say maybe what kind of first-round jitters are they feeling, but all these guys pretty much have played in the first round of the playoffs before.
Well, yeah, I think it makes it a lot easier, Chris, when you get your home field advantage. You're playing in Southlake, you're playing at Bob Butter Field. There's obviously, I think, the playoff excitement. The mentality as a player when you go into this is, all you've got is the game in front of you, and that's the only thing you're guaranteed. And these players know that. They're prepared for it. The coaching staff has done a great job on really emphasizing that you got to play for keeps. There's no guarantee of next week or 2 weeks down the road. Look at the game at hand.
Keys to the game, by the way, brought to you by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. If you're thinking about buying or selling your Southlake home, meet Robert Clayton and Karen Clayton Young with Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Clayton team is committed to making your real estate experience seamless from start to finish. Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, where dragons represent dragons. So Carroll will receive, moving from left to right in front of us. That is east to west as the field is situated. Alonzo Moreno, the senior kicker, puts the foot into it. It is a short kick fielded at the 25-yard line by the Dragons. Moving left to right across the field is Marcus Brous, makes a defender miss, falls forward near midfield, and Marcus Browse doesn't get to return a lot of kicks, but when he does, seems to have a good return.
Well, he's got the speed. We've already seen him make an interception for a touchdown this year already. He's an athletic guy, and tell you what, he gets the ball right where the Dragons want to start, where they find a lot of the success at the 50-yard line. And that's something Crowley can't do and afford to do. Give opportunities for this Dragon offense here on the first series.
A 24-yard return for Browse as the Dragons come out at the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line on the right hash. Two backs in the backfield behind Renda. We see Davis Penn and Parker Harris in the game. We saw Harris play on offense against LD Bell. He motions out of the backfield to the left. Renda gives to Penn going off right tackle. He falls forward for a couple of yards up to the Crowley 49.
And this is going to be a key component tonight. You're going to see this Dragon offensive line. They've got to establish the line of scrimmage. This is a talented, really, Crowley defensive line led by number 11, Jaden Terry. He plays on the right defensive end. It's a good matchup over Luke Wilson. A good run to the right, a first down for the Dragons.
The two receivers right, one to the left. They bring the tight end, John Mark Fraga, into the game. He's lined up off the hip of Luke Wilson at left tackle. Penn to Renda's left. Angelo takes the snap, looking to throw, goes deep down the left sideline, looking for Boyd. He dives. Did he haul it in? He did. What a catch by Brody Knowles, not Boyd, but they go to Knowles one-on-one on the outside against Amari Barley, and he brings it in.
It was a great job up front, great protection, gave Angel Renda the time. You got a one-to-one matchup on the left side with Brody Knowles and Amari Barley, and they're going to take that. Renda's going to see that, delivers a strike to Knowles. Huge game for the Dragons.
32 yards on the play as Luke Jacquemard comes into the game for Knowles. Maybe getting a little bit of a breather after he laid out for it. Caden Mackey also returning to the game for the tight end, and Carroll maybe with a little bit of personnel confusion here. I believe he's going to spend the timeout.
Southlake, their first of the half.
Riley Dodge talking to one of the officials right now, but we'll take the timeout as well. With 10:41 to go in the first quarter, no score at Dragon Stadium on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving in Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Well, Carroll forced to use its first timeout. Head coach Riley Dodge still talking to one of the officials along the home sideline. Some sort of miscommunication ahead of that first down play, but it is 1st and 10 now for the Dragons. At the Crowley 17, they've got two receivers to the left. Tight end and Blake Gunter to the right. Renda takes the snap, rolling out to his right, looking for Gunter in the end zone all alone. He's in for the touchdown. Nobody followed Blake Gunter out of the backfield as they all bid on the run fake by Renda, and it's 6-0 Carroll.
A good roll-up by Renda to the right. He finds Gunter all alone in the end zone, delivered a perfect strike, and Gunter was, I thought, it got behind the defense. Great read by Renda, getting the Dragons into the end zone.
All touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate as Gavin Strange comes on for the CLC Roofing point after try. Out of the hole to Zach Hayes. The deep snapper is Cody Williford. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. With 10:35 to go in the first quarter, it's Carroll 7 and Crowley 0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
A 3-play, 51-yard drive for the Dragons that took 1 minute and 14 seconds. Wrapping up with a Blake Gunter touchdown has Carroll up 7-0 as Gavin Strange kicks this one off. It is fielded by Jaleel Allen, working his way up the middle of the field, spins away from a tackle at the 15 and falls forward to about the 20-yard line before he's stopped by the Dragons' Gavin Gooden. So we'll get our first look at this Crowley offense. They've used a couple of different quarterbacks this year. Head coach Carlos Lynn had a chance to have our call with him yesterday. That has kind of been riding the hot hand. It's been junior Kendrick Kennedy and senior Josh Lowe at quarterback for the Eagles most of the year.
I mean, Kennedy's a guy that is going to be more like dual threat. At quarterback, he's going to do it more with his legs. And then whenever we see Joshua Lowe in the game, it's going to be more of a passing situation.
They actually, on first down, will give it to Kenyon Cotton, the running back running left. Brought down after a gain of a couple of yards by Parker Harris.
We talk about this offense of Crowley. They're run heavy. They're going to see a lot of power games. Talking the counters, the powers. You're going to see some QB sweeps, and also some little bit of zone. And this is the offensive line we talked about in the pregame, Chris, that, you know, they get their hands on you. They can move. They just got to be consistent. And they're going to run behind that big left tackle, Alexander Herrera, a.k.a. known as Big Country.
And it actually looks like it's the sophomore Antoine Griffin in at quarterback to start this one. On second down, he hands it off. They keep it on the ground. Pyle surges forward across the 25-yard line before a stop. It'll be 3rd and short coming up.
Again, getting right behind that left side, giving it to Cotton, really their most dynamic runner, getting behind, number 77, Alexander Herrera, the left tackle, who's a very highly recruited guy. The first 2 plays right behind the big man up front.
Offensive line also includes Shekinah Fomarati, Trent Bunch, Alejandro Castro, and Timothy Martin on that offensive line. It'll be 3rd down and 2. The ball on the left hash from the Crowley 26. And whistles blow before the ball is snapped.
Timeout, Crowley, their first of the half.
And it's head coach Carlos Lynn using his first timeout of the first half. So we'll break as well. 8:57 to go in the first quarter. It's the Dragons 7 and the Eagles nothing on the Dragons Sports Network.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
Third and short upcoming for Crowley with 8:57 to go in the first quarter. Carroll leading it 7-0 in the opening round of the playoffs. Griffin at quarterback takes the snap. Play fake to Cotton. Griffin going to keep it himself, trying to pick his way through, and the Dragons stuff him right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go for Griffin. It's going to be 4th down.
Terrific job by the Dragon defense. Crowley brings 2 offensive linemen from the right side, pulls them over to the left side to try to create an opening. Great job by the Dragon defenders on staying home, playing over the top, and making a huge stop on 4th down, on 3rd down.
Griffin may have even lost a couple of yards on the play. Zach Hayes, welcome back, makes the stop on 3rd down. And Crowley will punt this one away to the Dragons. The punter for Crowley is the sophomore Stephen Brown. Parker Harris back to return for Carroll. Harris standing at his own 43, tells everyone to get away from it as it bounces at the 50, and it's picked up at about the Dragon 45 by the Eagles. So the Carroll will have another short field here. They started their first possession at the 49, now at their own 45.
Well, Coach Lynn knew that he couldn't do this, and one thing he mentioned was he's got to get the Dragons to drive the length of the field. And again, second opportunity for the Dragon offense. You're putting it right at midfield. This really shortens their game in terms of the offensive plays. They're very dynamic from this area. They know how to get the ball in the end zone. So it's a place where Carlos Lynn does not want to be as a coach on this Crowley team.
Ball's on the left hash after the 31-yard punt from the Dragon 45. 2 receivers to the right. Tight end to the left. Boyd goes in motion left to right. Penn in the backfield alongside Renda. Boyd sets up off of the right tackle. They give it to Penn. No, Renda pulls it out of his belly on 1st down. Stiff arms a defender across the 50-yard line and out of bounds along the Eagles sideline. Renda using the stiff arm to pick up a couple of extra yards.
It was a great job by Renda. He did a zone read. Penn was coming off to the left side. Renda kept it, takes it to the right side, gets around the corner, and gets a big chunk on a 1st down, creating a second and 4 situation.
7-yard gain for Renda on 1st down. Gets the ball onto the Eagles side of the field at their 48. Boyd motions out to the right. 2 receivers left, tight end to the right. Renda looking to throw. Goes to the Crowley sideline. It falls short of Boyd. Not sure if it was tipped or if a little miscommunication on the route between Renda and Boyd.
We got a little pressure there for the offensive line. It forced a quick throw by Renda, and I don't think the timing of the route was there quite yet.
Arm may have gotten hit as he let that one go. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Dragons. From the 48, 2 receivers to the left. Boyd all by himself on the right side. Penn and Renda in the backfield. Angelo hands it to Penn, trying to work his way behind that right side of the line. He's going to be stopped short of the 1st down, maybe picked up 1.5 yards or so. It'll be 4th and short.
Penn takes it off to the right side in between Nathan Domraki and Tristan Dare. Typically in that zone play, they're going to get that 1st down, but again, a little short here, creating a 4th down and short.
5 guys right up on the line of scrimmage for the Eagles on this 4th down. Same formation for the Dragons. 2 receivers left, tight end to the right side. Penn to Renda's left. Angelo looking to throw. Pressure up the middle. Goes near sideline looking for Boyd. It's incomplete. It was good coverage there by the corner we told you about before the game, Brandon Ford, and the Dragons turn it over on downs.
It was good protection by the line up front. Renda had a lot of time to throw. It looked like there was a little bit of interference there on Ford over Boyd. I know Boyd was calling for it, but again, we talked about Brandon Ford and what he brings to the table on that Crowley defense. He is a lockdown corner.
That'll be a matchup that'll be fun to watch as this one wears on. Carroll on top 7-0 on the strength of a Blake Gunter touchdown, his 12th of the year. So this Crowley offense takes over at their own 47. Running back to the left, high snap. Griffin picks it up, now looking to run. Tucking it, trying to get outside to the right. Going to be dragged down from behind by Will Lines after a short gain. Gets him right near midfield. They're going to say to the Carroll 49.
It's just an athlete making a play. A bobble snap, just takes it. He knows the play is busted. Gets out to the right side. He does what he can. He gets a good opportunity there for a 4-yard gain.
2nd and 6 from the Dragon 49. Ball on the right hash. 3 receivers left. Tight end to the right. Griffin looking to throw. Goes short over the middle. That's his top target. Antavius Ellis, the junior committed to Nebraska, makes the catch for a short gain to the 47.
Again, good protection. A quick slant there to Ellis on the left side. And we're talking about Ellis. We haven't talked a lot about him, but he's about as good as it gets and about as good as it's advertised. He's got the speed and the size. Again, a guy who's committed to Nebraska. He is their main target if they can get the ball down the field.
3rd down, 3rd and 4 Crowley's 0 of 1 on third down so far. Carroll shows heavy pressure. Griffin looking to throw, looking for Ellis. It is caught, thrown behind him, and he hauls it in anyway across the 40-yard line to the Carroll 38.
It was good poise by Griffin to stay in the pocket. The pressure was coming. And he saw Ellis off to the right on a slant. Good job, threw it a little bit behind him, and Ellis just makes a football play. Great catch on getting Crowley to a first down.
First and 10 from the Dragon 38.
They bring the tight end Jordan Childress into the game. He lines up on the left side of the line. Cotton to the left of the quarterback, 2 receivers right. They'll keep it on the ground. Cotton trying to find some room up the middle. Absolutely nothing there. He's stuffed by this Dragon defensive line. Getting up from that bottom of that pile, Will Lines, along with Jake Lucky.
Big Jake Lucky there. He's such a plugger there on the defensive line. You know, they're coming there again with their bread and butter, trying to do some type of counter, and Lucky just stands his ground. Great job creating a pile. The Dragons playing over the top and making the stop.
Lucky wearing number 94 tonight. That was his number last year. Carroll wearing those new Patrick Mahomes.
Coach Dodge says they didn't have the number. They didn't have it as 0. It was a medium.
2nd and 9, trips left. Griffin looking to throw. Under pressure, buys himself a little bit of time, nearly intercepted as it was thrown along the right sideline. Parker Harris almost jumped that route for the Dragons. It falls incomplete.
A great job by the Dragons defense on flushing Griffin to the right. And this might just be the inexperience of the sophomore quarterback. He throws a little out route to the right. A double coverage almost picked off by the Dragon defense.
So it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Griffin converted 1 third down through the air. That was to Ellis. 2 receivers each side, 1 running back in the backfield. Carroll rushes 4. Griffin looking to run it himself. Gets outside on the right, tripped up and brought down. There's a shoestring tackle made by Landon Harris, and it'll be 4th down.
It was great. Griffin felt the pressure breaking down, stepped up in the pocket, took off. Landon Harris makes a shoestring tackle, preventing a first down. He had a lot of green to go.
So they're going to go for it on 4th down from the Dragon 33. 2 receivers left. That's the wide side of the field. 2 to the right. They bring Ellis in motion right to left. Griffin drops back over the middle looking for Ellis. It is caught right at the sticks. We'll have to see where the spot is. Crowley pointing that it's a first down. Carroll doing the opposite. And they are going to move the chains.
That was a lot of patience in the pocket by Griffin. Again, we talked about Ellis. They're finding a little bit of connection here on this series. Again, another slant route right at the 10-yard mark or at the first down marker. Great job on the conversion.
Ellis has shown early on that if the ball is in the same zip code, he's going to find a way to haul it in.
It just attracts to him, Chris.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right on 1st and 10 from the 28. Cotton gets the carry. Big hole on the right side. Surges across the 20-yard line. Brought down at the Dragon 19.
Again, they're going with a little power play, moving the lineman from the left side of the ball to the right side of the ball, getting up in the second level, and again, you get Cotton behind him. He is such a shifty back, almost gets the first down. The Crowley offense is finding some execution right here on this drive.
Tight end to the right, 3 receivers left, Cotton to the left of Griffin in the backfield on 2nd and short. Cotton gets it, working behind that right guard. Going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. That was the 10th play of the drive as Crowley has maintained possession here for a good chunk of the quarter. 3rd and 1 upcoming. Big play here for this Eagles offense. Ball at the Carroll 19 on the right hash. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Griffin pulls it out of the belly, looks to throw. It's hauled in by Ellis along the right sideline, but there is a flag down as Ellis was wrestling with Parker Harris for the ball. Let's see what the call is.
Illegal formation, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
This is exactly what Coach Lane can't have happen. You know, we talked about the opportunities and giving an advantage. He knew he has to play a mistake-free game against the Dragons. That's how they come to play. And again, you have a very convertible 3rd down situation. You know, now you're staring down 3rd and 6.
He said, this is a Carroll team that when he watches film doesn't have a lot of holes. It's one of the most complete teams in the area, if not the state. And backs himself up here. It'll be 3rd and 6 from the 24. And Crowley's going to take a timeout.
Crowley, their second of the half.
We'll take the timeout as well with 2:25 to play in the first quarter. It's Carroll 7 and Crowley nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Big third down coming up here late in the first quarter. Crowley from the Dragon 24. 2 backs in the backfield alongside Griffin. 1 receiver to the right, tight end on each side of the line. Griffin will try to hand it off. He fumbled the ball and he falls on it. Behind the line of scrimmage, Griffin tried to take it out from the belly of Cotton, falls to the turf, and they can't do anything but just dive on the football.
And again, I think that comes down to the rest of the sophomore quarterback. You have a muffed exchange. Again, give an opportunity. Again, put in the behind the sticks where they don't want to be. And I think everyone in the stadium knows where they're going to go. If they do go for this, they're going to target Ellis 100%.
It's 4th and 11. Ball's back at the 29 now. They've got to get up to the Dragon 18. They are going to go for it. It would be a long field goal from here, about 46 yards. Is Griffin looking to throw, dropping back, has time, steps up in the pocket, goes end zone, nobody there. It falls to the turf. Sure, there's a miscommunication on the route, but there was not really a receiver within 5 yards of the football, so Crowley turns it over on downs. It'll be Carroll football.
A big stop by the Dragon defense, again, creating a 4 and out, getting them off, getting this Crowley defense or offense off the field. Now, they bent a little bit on the drive. Great job on recovering and pushing them behind the sticks on this Crowley offense, and now giving an opportunity for this Dragon offense one more time.
Dragons and the Eagles meeting for the first time since the bi-district round 3 years ago. That was a season before Carlos Lynn took over. Carroll won that game 52-13. Game Graham Knowles' first year as quarterback. A guy named Davis Penn had a few carries as a freshman in that game. Right now he's in the backfield as a senior alongside Angelo Renda. Renda completes a pass to Boyd in the flat on the right side. Boyd spins through a tackle across the 35-yard line to the 36 of the Dragons.
And this is what Southlake loves to do. They love to get those little pop passes out to the right. He gets in the trip side, gets the 2 other receivers out in front and blocking. It's an extension of the run game, getting the ball into Boyd's hand, letting him create. Great pickup on first down for the Dragon offense.
A 2nd and 3 from the 36. Ball's at the right hash. Carroll has 3 receivers bunched on the left side. Tight end to the right. They send Boyd out wide to the left. Davis Penn in the backfield. Renda gets the snap. Gets it out to Knowles. They set up a wide receiver screen out there across the 40-45. Lowers the shoulder, trying to run through a tackle, and finally shoved out of bounds along the Crowley sideline by Brandon Ford after a pickup to move the chains for a Dragon Den first down.
A great job by Brenda getting again. Now going the other side of the field to Knowles. And we see Knowles. That's another catch by Knowles. He's setting a precedence there on the edge against these Crowley corners.
15-yard gain for Knowles on the play. Two receivers to the left, one to the right for the Dragons on 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 49. Renda thrown over the middle, tipped up into the air and incomplete. Was looking for Boyd. In coverage was Ford. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that's a matchup we've talked about, that Ford and Boyd matchup. You're going to watch it all night tonight. And again, terrific player, Ford, but Boyd's got his work cut out. Again, but you still love that the Dragons aren't afraid to go after a guy like Ford.
Junior running back Brooks Biggers into the game for the first time. He had 282 yards, 10 touchdowns on the year. 2nd and 10. Biggers to the left of Renda. Two receivers left side. Brooks is going to get it on 2nd down. Has a convoy out in front of him across the 45 down to the 44-yard line of Crowley.
You love seeing Biggers leading on the offensive line, running to the right, getting behind Kerry Clayton and Nathan Domrocky, and then Will Barley trailing from the backside, really enforcing their will on the Crowley defensive line.
3rd down coming up here for the Dragons. 3rd and 5. They've got to get the ball to the 39. Caden Mackey back into the game for Carroll. He's out on the left side alongside Brody Knowles. Brought Boyd, lone receiver to the right. And
that's the end of the first quarter.
But before Carroll can snap the ball, the clock will expire on the first quarter. So 12 minutes in, it's Carroll 7 and Crowley nothing in the bi-district round of the playoffs on the Dragon Sports Network.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Start of the second quarter from Dragon Stadium. Carroll football, 3rd down and 6 from the 44-yard line. Renda takes the snap, running left, has blockers out in front, running side to side, forced out of bounds along the near sideline. Good pursuit by the Eagles not to let him turn the corner.
Yeah, Crowley's got the good team defensive speed. Sometimes it's going to be hard to catch that edge on this defense. As Renda Caesars, they can go sideline to sideline, Chris.
So it'll be 4th down, and Carroll's going to go for it here. They're going to say Angelo lost a yard. They marked him out at the 45. Dragons got to get to the 39-yard line. 2 receivers left, one to the right. Tight end to the right with Davis Penn in the backfield. Renda looking to throw on 4th down. Going to take a shot down the right sideline. Got a man. It is hauled in. Brock Boyd all alone. Beat his one-on-one coverage and has a 1st down and then some for the Dragons.
Well, we talked about the matchup there, Boyd and Ford. And I tell you what, Renda loved what he saw on the right side. He saw 1-to-1, and he will take Brock Boyd all day. Brock got behind Ford in terrific catch, great throw, great protection.
35 yards on the completion. 1st down for the Dragons at the 13-yard line. They give it to Penn, running right. Gets hit and driven backwards. Big hit by Matthias Martin, the senior linebacker. They're going to give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage.
Those at home, this Crowley defense is a pretty good defense. They're one of the top defenses in the area. They've lost a lot of close matchups over the course of the season. I don't think their 3-7 records indicative on how good and talented this defense is.
Yeah, they've only given up about 263 yards a game in total. 2 receivers left, one to the right on 2nd and 10. Fraga, the tight end on the right. Renda looking to throw. They faked it to Penn. Has a ton of running room on the left. Directing traffic. Now he's going to tuck it and run himself across the 5. Stepped out of bounds inside the 5. Down at about the 2. And it'll be 1st and goal after a Dragon Den first down.
Yeah, we said that Renda is one of the fastest guys on the field at any time. Again, doesn't like what he sees, takes off a run. Brody rolls there on the Knowles on the left side. He's doing his best offensive tackle portrayal. Great block on getting Renda free.
1st and goal. Renda gives it to Penn. Cut down behind the line of scrimmage. Big hit coming in by the linebacker, LaDainian Goffney. And Penn is going to come over to the sideline after wearing that one a little bit. Biggers into the game at running back. Carroll's going to go 2 tight ends here on 2nd and goal from the 2. 2 receivers to the right, Knowles and Boyd. Strong side of the formation is to the left. Now they shift the tight ends to the right. Crowley crowding the line of scrimmage. They give it to Biggers, trying to force his way through. He's going to be stopped shy of the goal line inside the 1.
You can see the daylight is open there for a minute. This Crowley defense is so effective on closing those gaps. A lot of team speed, and they're getting to the ball and making the stop.
And they bring in defensive tackle big Martre Young, 6'3", 270 to clog the middle on 3rd down. They give it to Biggers again. This time he dives across the goal line for the touchdown. Dragons go up 13-0.
A great job by Biggers, going right, then going left, finding room between Kerry Clayton and left guard. Will Barley dances in the end zone. Great job by the Dragon offensive line on the goal line. Get behind the big guys, Chris.
Touchdown brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. As Gavin Strange is on for the point after try. PATs and field goals brought to you by CLC Roofing all season long. Hayes gets the snap down. The kick is up and good. With 9:37 to go in the second, it's Carroll 14 and Crowley nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HearstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Returning a kick for Crowley along the right sideline is Amari Barty, and he is brought down inside the 10-yard line by this Dragon kick coverage. He brought it out of the end zone and only gets back out to the 9.
Great job by the coverage team. Again, that's something we've seen all year long. And yes, you're listening at home, but you know some of these guys that make these plays on these Dragon special teams, they are starters. They don't care if they're starting. It's an opportunity to get on the field. In what position, in field position, does it give the Dragon defense? Incredible job by the kickoff team.
Carroll's second touchdown capped off an 11-play, 71-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 55 seconds after a Brooks Biggers 1-yard touchdown run. 2 receivers left, 1 right for Crowley on their 3rd possession of the game. Cotton gets it on 1st down, running left, bowls over a Carroll defender, and finally brought down as he got into the secondary by Austin Bussman.
We're seeing a lot of good, that initial burst by Cotton we talked about in the pregame. You've got to get in the backfield and you've got to live there, and he's finding some room there off the left side in between the left tackle and the left guard.
2nd and 5 now from the 14. Ball in the center of the field. 3 receivers to the left, tight end to the right. Griffin going to keep it himself here. Takes it out of the belly of the running back and is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to blow forward progress dead as Luke Bussman, one of the first ones in on that stop, right back to the line of scrimmage.
I think you talk about the little things, a little bobble with the ball there. Again, a few times we've seen that tonight with Griffin. It slows down the development of the play, allows the Dragons to swarm to the ball. Great stop by the Dragons.
So another 3rd down upcoming for Crowley. Trips left. Griffin looking that way. He's going to tuck it and try to run for the 1st down. He's hit a couple of times, spinning through contact. It's going to be close. And I think he got it up to the 20-yard line to move the sticks.
Big second effort. Again, finding a way to get to the 1st down marker. You saw there, Landon Harris almost had it again on a big stop, and he just muscled his way to the 1st down. But again, this Dragon defense, this Crowley offense is finding a little bit of success against this defense.
Strong side of the formation to the right on 1st down. They give it to Cotton. He runs left, and Carroll brings him down after a short gain. Will Lines and Austin Bussman combined on the stop.
We talk about this Crowley offensive line. It's one of the more formidable units that Southlake has seen all year. Very similar to a Byron Nelson offensive line. A physical group when they get their hands on you. And size-wise, they've got some big guys in size up front, and they're really leaning on that left side of this Crowley line right now.
Carroll playing with 3 down linemen here. They've moved Browse to a stand-up position as a linebacker on 2nd down and 7. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. They'll give it to Cotton again, picking his way through left side. Big hole across the 30 into the secondary, across the 40, past the 45, near midfield. And Cotton has a Dragon Den 1st down into Carroll territory at the Dragon 49.
Yeah, one of the biggest gains from the line of scrimmage from Crowley tonight. Again, hitting on that left side. That burst by Cotton once he gets into the 2nd level, he is hard to stop. And he's a guy who's one of the top rushers in the area as well.
28 yards on the play for the Eagles. They've got a 1st down in Carroll territory. Receiver moves in motion left to right. 2 receivers to the right, and they will keep it on the ground. This time Griffin following Cotton, trying to run through an arm tackle. Can't do it, and he's slung down by Robbie Ladd after a short gain.
Tremendous job by Robbie Ladd. They had a caravan out there onto the left on pulling, getting out on towards the sidelines. Robbie Ladd weaved his way through. Terrific job on getting the ball carrier down.
They'll give him a yard on the play, 2nd and 9 from the left hash. Ball's at the Dragon 48. Back to 4 down linemen for the Dragons here, 2 stand-up linebackers. Running back Cotton to the left of the quarterback. They fake it to him here. Griffin looking for some running room, trying to tuck it and pick his way through his linemen. Falls forward to the 45-yard line as he tried to make something out of nothing before he's brought down.
A great job by Will Lines and Marcus Browse on just forcing the quarterback back into the line of scrimmage. Again, this is something this front 7 of the Dragons going to have to continue to do. You got to put pressure on it. You got to get him in the backfield. You got to live in that backfield and disrupt the play.
3rd and 6 for the Eagles. They've got to get to the 39-yard line of the Dragons. Bunch receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Griffin looking to throw. Has time over the middle. It is caught. Carroll tried to jump the route and plenty of running room inside the 30 to the 25. Ball came out at the end, and who came up with it? Crowley, I think, fell on the football is the indication. And it will remain Eagles ball. It was a big catch and run by Nasir Wilcher, the sophomore. And it's a 1st down for the Eagles at the 21.
And Carroll defensive line playing some games up front, and Griffin stayed home, delivered strike, and great job in getting the ball up the field by the Crowley receiver.
24 yards on the gain. Under 5 to play in the half. They give it to Cotton, picking his way through across the 20-yard line on the left side. Gets up to the 17, but a flag is down.
Holding, offense number 77. 10-yard penalty, replay, 1st down.
And this is where you love, Chris. You love the speed that Zach Hayes brings off that edge. It makes it really difficult for any offensive lineman. His speed will put that left tackle out of position, the big Alexander Herrera, and again, forcing a holding situation. That's a big mistake for this Crowley offense.
Yeah, Herrera at 6'7", 290 pounds.
Chris, he looks like he's probably about 330 to 340. I'm not sure he's 290. He is a big man.
You'd have a good eye for that. You train linemen regularly.
Well, and
probably got a good visual.
I'm chubby myself.
Griffin thrown over the middle on first down. It's complete. Close to the original line of scrimmage at the 23-yard line. They haul that in by Ellis once again. So 2nd and 12 coming up for this Crowley offense. Ticking close to 4 minutes to go before halftime. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Griffin going to keep it and hit immediately by Hayes. What a play. Zach Hayes darting across the line and making the stop.
I love what Zach Hayes is doing against Alexander Herrera. He just can't compete with the speed. Again, Zach Hayes playing off the block, getting off a big, large human being like Alexander Herrera, coming across the line of scrimmage and making a huge play. He had forever to run. Great job by Zach Hayes.
3rd and 12. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. You got the tight end to the left. Griffin looking to throw. Under pressure. Escapes it. Flings it up into the air along the Crowley sideline, and it goes out of bounds. Was not catchable, was not in the field of play, but he did avoid taking a massive sack. And it'll be 4th and 12.
The big pressure by Crawford Taylor. The quarterback slipped through his fingers, so to speak, but great job on getting into the backfield. Again, you've got to get pressure on the sophomore quarterback. He's not aware of these type of throws in these situations. You've got to force him into those spots, and he'll make those error throws.
Crowley has gone for it on every 4th down but 1 so far tonight. Play clock down to 3. They're still getting lined up. Bring a player in motion. They're going to have to use the timeout.
Timeout, Crowley. That's their 3rd and final of the half.
So we will take the break as well. 3:07 to go in the 2nd quarter. It's Carroll 14 and Crowley nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
.307 to go in the 2nd quarter, and a big 4th down play coming up here for Crowley. Remember, the Dragons, or Crowley will get the ball first, rather, in the 2nd half, but trying to make up a little bit of ground here. Down 14. Dragons only have 3 down linemen, 2 receivers each side. Griffin to throw. Has a little bit of time here. Dancing around in the pocket, will try to run across the 20-15. He's got the first down inside the 10. A flag comes in. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. But there is a chance this is coming back.
Looks like they're going to get a hold on the perimeter there on the run.
We await the ruling from Jim Davis, the referee tonight.
Holding, offense number 18. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 4th down.
Was fooled for a moment because Riley Dodge looked like he was upset about something with the official, but the penalty does go against Crowley. It'll be 4th and even longer now. 4th and 14. So maybe it was where the spot of the foul was that he didn't like, because it only backs him up a couple of yards.
Yeah, again, this is something that Coach Lynn is going to preach, is you're getting opportunities and you're not making the most of them, put him in a very difficult 4th down situation for this Eagle team.
3 receivers left. Carroll brings blitz. Griffin has no time. He's going to be brought down and sacked. Carroll comes up with a 4th down stop, as it was Crawford Taylor getting in there and making the sack. Crowley turns it over on down.
You got to love what this Dragon defense has been doing. They put Zach Hayes out at the end. They moved Crawford Taylor there at nose guard. They're getting speed on speed against this offensive line, and they're winning the matchups up front. Huge play by Crawford Taylor coming up from the middle, applying the pressure, and getting the sack.
Sacks brought to you by Life's Medicine. Start your ultimate recovery with Life's Medicine, located on Southlake Boulevard. So Carroll gets the ball back with 2:50 to go in the half. Plenty of time for this Carroll offense, which we have seen score in under a minute plenty of times this season. 2 backs in the backfield with Renda. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's Parker Harris and Brooks Biggers. We saw Harris in the game on the first play of the game for the Dragons. They motion Parker out of the backfield to the right. Renda looking to throw, going to take a shot down the middle of the field. It's hauled in by Carroll. Spinning out of a tackle at the 42-yard line is Blake Gunter, and he's down to the 40-yard line.
Great job by Angel Renda. Terrific protection up front by the Carroll offensive line. Renda looks right, finds the seam down the middle of the right side to Gunter, and it's just the old pitch and catch between these two. We've seen it a lot this year.
27 yards on the reception. And Gunter, as much as anyone on this Dragon offense, has shown the ability to create yards after contact, and picked up a couple of more there for a Dragon Den first down. Harris and Biggers still in the backfield for Renda. Harris motions out to the left. Renda looking down the right sideline. One-on-one coverage between Boyd and Ford. There's a lot of contact. They both go down, and the pass falls incomplete.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Very physical matchup, Chris. You're seeing Boyd getting a little bit of mixed up with Ford, and Ford bringing it right back. It looks like they had a double takedown on each other there. But again, that's a matchup. It's going to be a battle all night.
This brings us to the 2-minute timeout in the first half. With the score, Carroll 14, Crowley nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Two minutes to go in the first half at Dragon Stadium. Carroll up 14-0 on Crowley. And Carroll looking to add some more points before halftime. The Eagles do get the ball first in the third quarter. One thing to keep an eye on, we have not seen Davis Penn for Carroll on this drive. So hope everything is okay with Davis. Biggers, the junior running back in the backfield for Carroll here. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Angelo takes the snap, looking to throw, completes it along the near sideline to Gunter again. He steps out of bounds near the 30-yard line at the 29.
A great job up front again by the Carroll offensive line. Zero pressure on Renda, allowing him to step up and hit Blake Gunter on the comeback route on the left side. And we talked about Blake Gunter, one of the leading receivers in the area. You just kind of do it all, and you're loving this Dragon offense. They're spreading the wealth along these talented receivers.
1st and 10 after the Dragon Den first down. Gunter in motion. Renda chased in the backfield, eludes pressure once all the way back near the 50 and finally fires it out of bounds. And that is a dangerous play, but Renda, the veteran quarterback, able to make sure it goes as an incomplete pass.
If you're Coach Dodger sitting on the sidelines, this is why you have a veteran quarterback in there. You elude the pressure. You do nothing but just get out to the right side, get out of the pocket, throw it away. Crisis averted for the Carroll offense. And again, still keeping them in a manageable second down situation.
Penn returns to the game here for the Dragons on this second down play. He's in the game at a wide receiver spot, and they give it to Boyd out of the backfield. Carroll mixing up where it puts its skill players here, and Boyd runs right for a gain of about 7.
That's what Dodge loves to do, is pick your poison on the defense. If you can cover all the receivers downfield, you're going to have Boyd out of the backfield there in the flats on the right, and great little check down by Renda all the way to Boyd. And again, Boyd, you get the ball in the Boyd's hand, he's going to create and make plays, creating a third and manageable situation.
3rd and 3 here. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Tight end to the left side. Penn to Renda's right. 1:32 to go in the half with the clock stopped. Renda gives it to Penn, looking for room up the middle across the 20. He has the first down up to the Eagles' 18-yard line.
This is what you love about the veteran running back in Penn, and glad he's not shaken up. He's back in the game. Again, just pressing the inside zone, waiting for that cutback lane to open, and he does, and gets the first down right behind Will Barley and Kerry Clayton.
First downs brought to you by the Dragon Den. Ball on the right hash with a couple of tight ends on the left side. Renda throws, looking end zone. Knowles goes up for it, can't haul it in. It falls incomplete. No flag down on the play. Amari Barley, the junior, in coverage.
Renda knew what he had. He had a man-to-man situation with Knowles on the fade on the left side. And if I'm Riley Dodge, I'm going to dial it right back up and call it again. You see how many times they can try to defend that. You talk about Knowles, you get in the end zone, and Riley loves throwing through spots on this situation, and the receivers are one of the best at getting the ball, especially for 6'5".
2nd and 10 from the 18. Penn gets it running left across the 15-yard line. And they'll mark him down at the 13. It'll be 3rd and 5.
A zone play to the left, getting behind Luke Wilson and Will Barley. Great job by Penn on pressing it and getting about 5 yards, looking at 3rd and 5 for this Dragon offense.
Wonder if this is 4-down territory for the Dragons. 32 seconds left in the half. 2 receivers to the left. They motion Boyd out to the right. Penn in the backfield. Renda looking to the throw. He's going to look for Boyd. End zone. Caught. Touchdown, Carroll. Great move by Brock Boyd on the route to cut it up along that far sideline. And Carroll leads it 20-0.
Oh, we talked about the route running of Boyd in the pregame show and how dynamic he is. And he's going to battle with Ford, the Oklahoma State commit. And what a move he puts on the Oklahoma State commit. Finds the end zone. And what a throw by Renda, delivering a strike to Boyd for a Dragon touchdown.
Touchdown sponsored by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate as Gavin Strange puts in the CLC Roofing point after try. With 18 seconds to go in the first half, we'll take a quick break. It's Carroll 21, Crowley nothing in the Bi-District round on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
18 seconds to go in the second quarter, and Gavin Strange boots this one through the end zone for a touchback after a 9-play, 67-yard drive for the Dragons that took just a minute and 32 seconds and ended with a Brock Boyd touchdown reception. So coming up at halftime, our guest booker, Robert Clayton, did his best job of the year. Crowded halftime. Coming up on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show, we'll talk with Angela Bowers from Southlake Dermatology, as well as three members of the Carroll Athletic Hall of Honor, or two members of the Carroll Athletic Hall of Honor, plus one on the nomination committee, is on first down. They keep it on the ground, caught and driven backwards, and that is going to do it more than likely for the first half. Carroll thought the ball came out at the end, but Cotton is ruled down. The clock continues to run, and that'll do it for the first half. And Robert, a first half in which Crowley did a good job hanging with the Dragons, but Carroll wins a few one-on-one battles to go up 3 scores.
Well, I think you talk about, we looked at Crowley as a 3-7 team. You knew watching that film they're way more than a 3-7 team, and I think it's great exposure for this Carroll team on seeing a defense like this. They haven't seen it a lot. I'm talking the team speed and size all around. It's one of the best defensive lines they've faced all year. And I tell you what, for a first-round matchup, I know we're sitting at home, we're Southlake Carroll fans, we're seeing, it's only 21-0. But this is the playoffs now. You're going to get your best every single game, and you love it. I know Riley's going to be in the locker room. They're going to make some adjustments and they come out firing in the second half.
Well, the score at halftime once again: Carroll 21, Crowley nothing. We'll take a time out. Come back with our Feed Store Barbecue halftime show in just a moment on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving in Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
21-0, Carroll leads Crowley in the first round of the playoffs at Dragon Stadium on a Thursday night. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton joined now by Angela Bowers from Southlake Dermatology as we get you started on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. And Angela, first of all, thanks for coming up here and making time to support Dragon football.
For the invite.
So you've got a long story with Carroll football. You've had sons that have played for the Dragons. Watching this year's team, what have your impressions of this edition of Carroll football been?
Oh, gosh. Right. Well, the games all seem decided by halftime. So
I
wish it were that way when my boys played football. It was a little more stressful. But, no, it's just fun to see Riley. When Will played, it was his first year when Will was a senior. And to just see them just continue to excel, and there's just so much buy-in from the parents, just the whole community. It's been just fun to see him do that to the program.
That's not a lot of success, of course, getting to the 100 win mark this year in just his 8th year as the head coach. But when your sons played football for Carroll, tell us a little about your history with Carroll ISD, with Southlake, and how you wound up here.
Right, sure. Well, we started the practice. I came out in 99, started out in Town Square, and nothing was really out here. There wasn't even a courthouse. It was just 6 buildings out there. But I remember even way back then, I would have moms come in. This was when Dodge Sr., was coaching. And they would just tell me how he was taking care of these boys. And if any of his football players showed up in class and those jeans weren't pulled all the way up, he would pull them out of class and get some rope. And he would make a belt and make those, and so that really had an impression on me. Like all the moms back then, when he was coaching, he just had them become men when they were in high school. And it was just such a fun time when they were going to state and all that, back in Chase Daniels' days and all that. So I've just kind of seen the whole progression since 99 till now for the last 26 years, really. It's kind of crazy. We used to have Dairy Queen and a Walmart in Southlake. So, but the Carroll program is just, I think it's been so cool that we just still have one, main high school. We're all Dragons, since we're little. I think that's the difference maker. Yep. And we just can buy green the entire, from kindergarten on to senior year. Yeah.
Dairy Queen's the sign of small town Texas.
Right.
Wish there were more of those in DFW. They're still around. But of course, that history with the program, assuming that's why it's important to you to give back and to support Carroll football now.
Yes, absolutely. No, what's kind of funny, I think when my boys were starting to play sports, I didn't really want them playing football because I'm like a football. I'm a physician. I didn't want them getting hurt, right? And so, here they are playing football, and but they just loved it, and it's just kind of what everybody does here in Texas. And when you learn more about it as a mom, you really, I'm an Aggie too, so it's made my game watching experience much better than I know what's going on the field. Yeah.
Well, great year to watch Aggie football too this season. Do you have any favorite Carroll football moments that stick out to you from watching all these games over the years?
I know. That's, there's so many. I tell you what, one of the coolest traditions is our clap out and our clap in that I don't think a lot of people know. But the parents, the family, when the boys are leaving to get on the buses, we all show up at the field house and we clap them out and they load up on the buses and it's just bells and it's just a cool experience. And then when they end the game, we meet them back and we clap them back in. Most of the time they've won.
Right.
But those few times they've lost, we're all there. But it's just a really cool bonding experience that's different than other schools.
Now, reason you're here, Southlake Dermatology. Tell us a little bit about the practice and what you guys do.
Yeah, well, gosh, we've just kind of grown with the community. So when I started, I just had 2 employees, and total we have about 40 of us now.
Wow.
But it's been 26 years. So it's just kind of slowly grown because, we have all these people moving in.
Yep.
And thankfully, a lot of them are from Southern California. So that has helped me. They all have skin cancer. So, but no, we've just really been blessed to be part of such a growing community. I grew up in Fort Worth, and I did all my training in Dallas.
Okay.
So this was kind of a really nice in-between spot, and I just kind of got lucky. Starting in Town Square when it first opened, that was where my first office was. It was kind of right across from Milwaukee Joe's. And then we ran out of space, kind of moved on the other side of Carroll, and now we're in that Southlake Methodist Hospital office building.
So that's where you are physically. If people want to reach out to you, get in touch with you, what's the easiest way to do that?
Yeah, gosh, just southlakedermatology.com. Yeah, we have online scheduling now. We were paper charts way back, and now we're we're trying to keep up with all the technology. But generally it's just southlakedermatology.com. But I think for men, I just really want to encourage them to come in and get their skin checked. We just really see so much skin cancer. Most of everybody that's listening, they're pretty active outdoors, playing golf, whatever, and they've had a lot of sun. So just to kind of have that annual skin check can be very, very helpful.
All right, Angela, well, thank you for taking the time to come up here and for supporting Carroll football.
All right, absolutely. Thank you.
Angela Bowers with Southlake Dermatology coming up to join us at halftime tonight. At the break, Carroll leads Crowley 21-0 in the first round of the playoffs. Back with more on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show after this on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
All right, welcome back, Dragon fans. We have a exciting interview here at halftime with some of the newly inductees here in the Carroll Athletic Hall of Honor. I am joined tonight by Jason Fernandez and Coach Greg Oglesby of the 2001 boys soccer state championship team. I also have Isaac Gregory, who's part of the nominations team for the Carroll Athletic Hall of Honor. So welcome, gentlemen. We're excited to have you. Big night. Thank you for coming out and spending a Thursday night with us.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
Rob. Oh, absolutely. Well, guys, let's talk a little bit. I'm going to jump right into it. We have a lot of listeners at home and people just tuning into the game. I think they just want to get to know you first and talk a little bit about yourself and kind of your Dragon story. So, Coach Oglesby, or I'll call you Coach O, what do you got? What do you let's talk a little bit about your favorite Dragon story and just really, your tenure here at Southlake, which, by the way, if you're listening, Coach Oglesby is already inducted as a coach in the Carroll Athletic Hall of Honor. So he's used to this process.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. So, to give you a brief history, I was hired in 1994 to start and develop both the men's and the women's soccer program here at Southlake Carroll. In the first year of the boys program, we qualified for the playoffs with only 2 seniors, and being the smallest.
Wow.
Yeah, probably the smallest school in the state of Texas that was playing soccer at that time. But by year 6, we made it to the state tournament for the first time in the school's history.
Wow.
Getting to a state tournament was incredibly difficult, and returning there was even more difficult. But the boys soccer team made it to the state tournament 3 years in a row and returned again in 2011, capturing that state championship as well for their second state championship. And then, you know what it's like here, Robert.
Yeah.
Once a Dragon, always a Dragon, and I'll be forever grateful for my time here.
Oh,
the experiences, the relationships, family here, grandkids here.
Yeah.
So it's a special place.
Oh, it is. And you've left such a lasting mark on this program and a true legend here at Southlake. And for fans who new to generations coming in who might not know Coach O, but he's about as nice of a human being as you could possibly meet, and with an incredible family. But let's turn the page. Let's go. Jason Fernandez.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit. And this is a Dragon that graduated in, was it 1991?
Yes, sir.
And then he was really one of the first All-American kickers here at Southlake. Tell us a little bit about your story and obviously we already know that you're a local legend here, but tell us a little bit more about yourself, Jason.
Well, ironically, I knew Coach O prior to coming to Southlake.
Wow.
Yeah. I played for Select Soccer under Coach O.
Okay.
I'd like to say maybe
that is awesome. What a connection.
Yeah, all connected, yeah.
Maybe he gave me some of that leg strength skills.
So you developed a Hall of Fame.
No.
Yeah, you did. You take claim to it, Coach.
When he played soccer for me, he had a cannon already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So 1987 was a special year. It was my first year as a Dragon in Southlake. Moved from Dallas and got a chance. I had no idea the program I was about to become a part of. But I didn't play soccer in high school because we didn't have a soccer team.
Right.
So I played football.
Yeah.
Right. And as
thank goodness.
Yeah. and as I played football, I had a good freshman year. And Coach Lineweaver came to me at the end of the season of our freshman season and goes, we need a kickoff guy. And you and the JV kicker are going to have a kickoff next week prior to the Springtown game.
Wow.
And Springtown was our arch enemy, our rival.
Yeah.
And
the Porcupines.
The Porcupines. That's correct. They had a great program. They would beat us. We'd beat them the years prior.
Yeah.
And we did a kickoff competition. And fast forward a week later, as a freshman, I was kicking 5 yards deep in the end zone.
Wow.
And they're saying, okay, you're the kicker.
Yeah.
Well, the next week, Coach Lineweaver has me come out. He introduces me to the varsity team. And he has me wear a Japanese headband with kamikaze on it. And the whole theme throughout the rest of the playoffs was we're going to be kamikazes on the kickoff team. As a freshman, I had to wear that the whole practice of special teams.
Wow.
A kamikaze headband.
Good old Coach Ledbetter.
Coach Lineweaver.
Oh, Lineweaver.
But Coach Ledbetter was in charge.
Wow. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about maybe your favorite moment. Let's talk, maybe take you back to that day of when, for those who don't know, Jason Fernandez, set the national extra point record. What was that moment like?
We're playing against Decatur, and it was an away game, and quite frankly, it's a little bit of a blur, but about 3 games prior, we knew it was coming up. So it was just one of those things that was going to happen. We had a scoring machine. And quite frankly, I was just a benefactor of such a strong offense that our coaches put together. And
well, let's not say that you were a first-team parade All-American. There's more to that than what you think, but actually, dominating on the field, Jason. So incredible. That's awesome. And we got Isaac Gregory here. He's part of the nomination committee. He is class of '96. And if you don't know, Isaac and the Gregory family, a tremendous family here in Southlake. Been here for ages, and I think Isaac has seen almost every walk of life in Southlake. And you talk about the 80s and 90s, and let's talk a little bit about your story, Isaac.
Yeah, well, thanks, Rob, for having us. And my parents moved to Southlake in the spring of '77, thanks to a connection with the LaFavors family of feed store barbecue fame. And I was born in August. So since then, like Rob said, graduated class of '96. Have two little brothers, Daniel and David, and all three of us are still here in Southlake, raising the next generation of Gregory Dragons, and really excited to be part of the Hall of Honor.
Awesome. And you talk about being part of the nomination process, Isaac. Tell us what that's like. What does that entail? Because it's more than just sitting around a table and saying, "Hey, Jimmy and the Joe needs to go in. Let's put them in." What's that look like?
Yeah, the nomination process it's pretty extensive, and we have a full nomination committee. The last 2 years has been led by Justin Hunter, who is also in the Hall of Honor, an inductee for tennis. Was I think the second ever state champion for Southlake tennis, and so Justin ran it along with the help of Lindsey Jacobson and also Michael Heldorn. All of us are Dragon grads, and I think that's an important thing to note, is that at the Hall of Honor, it's no other parties that don't have an interest in being a Dragon. We know what it's like to be a Dragon. We were there. We were on the field, blood, sweat, and tears. And so the nomination process, the first step is we get a lot of feedback from folks of who should be in the Hall of Honor. What I would tell you is the most important thing is we've got a nomination form. So we need nomination forms for anybody that goes in. So that's really the first step in that process, is getting nomination forms on everybody. And you can imagine with Carroll athletes dating back to the 60s, you're talking about 65 years now of athletic history, that the Hall of Honor is responsible for reviewing those athletes and doing due diligence and understanding, who are the people that need to be in the Hall of Honor. So it's quite a process that we go through. It's both subjective, but then we have very objective data on, actual, who were all state players, who were all district players, who were, like Jason's case, who were all Americans. Then what did they do beyond just high school? Did they go on into college? Did they go on even into the pro ranks and play in the pros? And all of that is really actually we have a matrix put together to judge the athletes that are nominated. Mm-hmm. And every year, we don't take everybody. We've got a big backlog, and I think there's absolutely more people from Jason's tenure that played ball in the 80s and 90s, all the way up to recent grads, 5-10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's quite a process that we go through, and it's painstaking, and it's all worth it.
I think one of the biggest things, I walked into one of the meetings and they had a dry erase board of every state championship, that was won at Southlake Carroll, and the number, you look at some of these like cross country and swimming that are just overwhelming, and then you look at who was actually who's in the Hall of Honor from those state championship teams, and then you really evaluate and say, we need to take a deeper look. And I think that's a great thing this nomination team has done, is really take a deeper dive into, the legacy of some of these programs. And even though I am a football homer, there's more than just football out there. So, well, good. Well, let's talk about maybe favorite Dragon moments. Isaac, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I got to very fortunate enough to play on the '93 state team, and then graduated in '96, and bled on Old Dragon Field at Old Dragon Stadium. But I'll tell you, my favorite time as just being a Dragon and being a student was my freshman year, which was the 92-93 school year. because, we won state that year and the Dragons played in what is widely known as probably the best high school football game ever played against Vernon. Then went on to win the state championship against Cold Spring. And then unexpectedly after football season rolled into basketball season, and the basketball team won the state championship, which was still to this day the only state championship that the Dragons have in basketball. So that was just a magical year to be a part of. A lot of great athletes. A lot of those athletes are in the Hall of Honor already. And it was just a magical time to be a Dragon.
Well, you imagine sitting there as a freshman saying, this is the expectation of me now going to be a sophomore, junior, and senior.
That's right. A little daunting.
A little daunting. What about you, Jason? What's your favorite memory?
I would say my senior year playing against Gladewater.
Yeah.
And Gladewater wasn't the Vernon game, which was next, but it was a game that got us to that game. And it was a tight game. And there's a guy named Stoney Clark who played, played for UT and weighed 300 pounds. And Coach Lineweaver would say, he eats raw meat and drinks coffee out the spigot. And man, we had our hands full with that team, and we kept chopping. And at the end of the game, we came out ahead. I was playing receiver. I made a couple key first downs. We didn't pass very much, so that was a big deal because we always ran the wishbone, right?
Yeah.
So we had some key passes that we needed at the time, and just really edged them out, and it was such a good win.
Incredible.
I love that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Coach Joe, what about yours?
With this team, since we're inducting them, probably the state championship game, because it was a bit unique. We had an amazing team. We played Brenham in the championship game, and they were, determined to stop us somehow, some way. And it ended up being they're just going to foul us.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting all kinds of cards and fouls, but it worked for them.
Right.
So it's tied, and back then you went to what was called shootouts, where you dribble up from 35 yards out.
Right.
Or 5 seconds to get the shot off. And I ended up taking one of my forwards, Dominic Mediat, who was an amazing athlete, putting him in goal. And thank God it worked out.
Wow.
But it went 13 deep. We set a UIL record for that because you do 5 sudden death, or 5, and then it's sudden death after that. And so every time we would make, they would make, and then when we would miss, they would miss. And then finally we made our 13th kick, and they missed. So, kind of unique scenario, but kind of a fitting end for that team, which is just, had worked so hard and was so talented.
It is great because a lot of these guys that were on the team, I was a senior, and they were, I think, sophomores at that time. And, just the legacy that group left, just not even that on the soccer field, football too, multiple sports. I mean, just an incredible athletic group. And several of those players from that team went on to play professionally.
They did. Quite a few college players, and 2 for sure played professionally. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, good. Well, I'm going to spin it back to Isaac real quick and talk a little bit about we have a few minutes left in halftime. Why the Carroll Athletic Hall of Honor is important.
Yeah, Rob, it's a great question. Coach Ledbetter, back when I was playing, he would wander the halls in the field house. And every now and then he'd break out in a song and he'd say, everywhere we go, people want to know. Mm-hmm. And, that's real. Southlake is a premier program, not only in the state of Texas, but nationally. And that carries a responsibility to be able to look back at the past and see who were those athletes that contributed, that helped build the tradition. From, like I said before, dating all the way back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way into today. And we want to carry that tradition on. We want these athletes that when they leave the field, that it's not over, right? That the Hall of Honor is here for those that are deserving, the best of the best that put on the green and black, that they can come back and be recognized and be part of something that's gonna live on forever. Right. So it's it's important. It's about carrying on the tradition, and everywhere we go, people want to know.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, gentlemen, we're gonna wrap it up here tonight for the halftime interviews. We have a few seconds left before the third quarter starts. I did promise my my Dragon Youth football team. We talk about future Carroll Hall of Honors inductees at some point. They have a huge game this Saturday. They're taking on the Coppell Red team for 5th grade, a big moment. Their semifinals. If they win, we go to the Super Bowl. And not only good luck to our team, but good luck to all Dragon youth athletes and all athletes. The volleyball team plays in the semifinals. And I was talking to Isaac a little bit about this, is these guys we see out here today or the ladies that we see play are going to be the future Hall of Honor inductees maybe 10, 20, 30 years down the road. So it's a pretty cool legacy. And gentlemen, thank you all for joining us today. And again, congratulations on all their success.
Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Rob.
Congratulations, guys.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Start of the third quarter from Dragon Stadium as Gavin Strange puts the foot into this one, and it is a touchback as the ball lands in the end zone. Welcome back to Dragon Stadium. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you after a first half in which Carroll led Crowley 21-0. The Eagles won the toss and elected to defer, so they get the ball first here in the second half of play. Some of the numbers from the first half of this one: 224 total yards for the Dragons, 63 on the ground, 161 through the air for Crowley, 103 yards, 55 rushing, 48 passing. Now, we've been a little bit, not throughout the game, but we were a little bit surprised to see Antoine Griffin starting at quarterback tonight for the Eagles. They'd used mostly a junior and a senior in Kendrick Kennedy and Joshua Lowe this year. On first down, it's Cotton, the running back, getting the carry and picking up a couple of yards.
And Griffin's really done a admirable job so far. He's had a few plays where he's gotten into trouble and probably made some sophomore mistakes, but all in all, that Crowley offense at times has shown some explosiveness to move the ball down the field. But again, it's that Dragon defense coming in, capitalizing, and making big plays and putting Crowley behind the chains.
Yeah, he's gone 5 of 7 for 48 yards through the air today. So 2nd and 8, 2 receivers each side. High snap, Griffin pulls it down, throws over the middle, caught with a lot of running room, running right to left, and going out of bounds with it is Zamarion Butler, the senior receiver, getting her first reception of the day. So it makes it 3rd down after a short gain, 3rd and 3. The ball is at the Eagles' 32-yard line. Got to get to the 40, or 35. Ball on the right hash, 2 receivers left. They give it to Cotton. He's going to be hit in the backfield and dropped by Robbie Ladd, knifing through the line, taking down Cotton for a loss.
Robbie Ladd comes through like a missile on the right side of that defensive front, making a huge play in the backfield. Again, putting Crowley in a 4th down position where now they're going to be forced to punt. I believe this is their first punt of the game, second punt of the game.
They've gone for it on all but 1 4th down they've faced so far. It'll be Stephen Brown, the sophomore, on to kick it away to Parker Harris. The first punt was a short one. He gets this one away. Short again. Harris calls for a fair catch at the 42. We'll give him the 43, and that's where Carroll will take over. It's been good field position all day for the Dragons.
And this is the Crowley defense that has forced some missed opportunities for the Dragons. And again, we said it up front that this is actually a better defense than it shows on paper. They're actually a very talented group, and you're seeing some mismatches, some things, but you're also seeing Southlake, getting away and exploiting some of these playmakers on Crowley's defense and taking opportunities, getting in the end zone, and getting behind that offensive line as well.
Angelo Renda in the first half, 9 of 14 for 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. 1 to Brock Boyd, 1 to Blake Gunter. Brooks Biggers also had a rushing touchdown for the Dragons, who have it at their own 42. Boyd goes in motion right to left. They swing it to him out in the left flat. Boyd across the 50. Spinning out of a tackle at the 45 in the Eagles territory, crossing the 40-yard line to move the chains for a Dragon Den first down.
You love it. Opening play, get it to your playmaker, get him on the perimeter, and that spin move off the left side once he got into the second level was incredible. Talk about an athlete, the Ohio State commit, Brock Boyd doing it all.
19 yards on first down for Boyd.
First and 10 from the 39.
Dragons have a new set of downs, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Gunter lined up as an H-back on the right side of the line. They motion Gunter out to the right. Now Renda claps his hands, gets the snap, hands to Davis Penn. Trying to cut back to the right. He's brought down after a short gain to the 36-yard line.
You like to see Davison pressing in on the left side, on the inside zone, getting behind Will Barley and Kerry Clayton. A great job on just getting 3 yards. They don't need a breakout run, but again, just eat up this chain and this yardage and put you in a good third down situation.
2nd and 7 from the Eagles 36. 2 receivers to the right. Penn takes the handoff, goes left. Gains a couple of yards as he crosses the 35. It'll be 3rd and manageable coming up for the Dragons.
Number 12, Sakai Briggs.
Dragons not in any rush here on this first possession of the second half, using plenty of time on the play clock. 2 receivers to the right here. Tight end to the left, Gunter on the right side of the line. Renda looking to throw, rolling out to his right. Throws it short right side. Boyd makes the catch. It'll be good for a Carroll first down across the 30-yard line to about the 27.
A great job by Renda escaping the pocket, allowing
Defense.
things to develop.
15-yard penalty, 1 first down.
Renda got hit late. They call a roughing the passer penalty. Moves it up 15 yards. And Crowley, for the most part, has been pretty disciplined tonight, but that's a big one.
They've had key opportunities, and it's what really Coach Lynn said is like they don't. Southlake doesn't skip a beat. They're very fundamentally sound. They're going to have to play a perfect game, and even the slightest holding call that set them back in the first half. You've had the personal foul here now. You just can't shoot yourself in the foot against this Dragon team.
1st and 10 from the right hash. Ball at the 14-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Renda looking to throw. Throws right side, looking end zone for Boyd. Try to back shoulder throw, but it falls incomplete.
For number 1, Brock Boyd. Broken up by number 6.
Boyd battling still with the senior quarterback, Brandon Ford.
I think so far tonight, Boyd has had Ford's number, to say the least. They've had some great matchup opportunities, but Boyd's found the end zone no matter what.
They bring a receiver in motion left to right. That's Gunter. So now it's just Knowles by himself on the left side of the field. They'll give it to Penn. Running left. Has some blockers out there. May have lost a yard. Drop him back at the 15-yard line.
Taken down by number 44, Ryland Fowler.
Ryland Fowler made the tackle.
Ryland Fowler's a big guy. He has a quick first step on that defensive line, something that showed up on film quite a bit, that he's very explosive. As an offensive line, you talk about, when we do the outside zone, those outside runs, can we reach those players? And he's very tough to get front side on. A lot of speed at that down lineman position.
3rd down for Carroll here. They've got to get inside the 5 for a first. Penn out of the backfield. On 3rd and long, Renda flushed out to the right. Trying to tuck it, see if he can turn the corner. Does across the 20, inside the 15, and stepped out of bounds.
Angelo Renda on the quarterback
Maybe time to kick for the Dragons here, and it indeed will be as they send the field goal unit onto the team onto the field for just the third time all season. But we saw this in the playoffs last year. Gavin Strange got a little more usage as the postseason went on. There was one in particular that was a pretty big deal, if I remember correctly.
It was pretty good, Chris.
Sent the Dragons to the state title game against Longview. Here, the snap is down, kick is up, and he hooked it wide to the left. So misses the field goal. His first miss of any kind this year. Has not missed an extra point. And that was his first field goal miss. Was 2 of 2 on the season prior to that one.
And again, I think anytime you get an opportunity to get the kicker out there, it's a good opportunity. Obviously, it didn't go the way Strange would want it to go, but at the same time, you got to get out there and get those reps. And like you said, this Dragon team hasn't had a whole lot of reps at kicking the ball in terms of field goals this year.
And Carroll, of course, last year, after the first round of the playoffs, was in a ton of close games where all those opportunities mattered. Tight games for Carroll last year against Friendship, Hebron, Geyer, Longview, and Vandegrift. The last 5 games of the year is on first down. They keep it on the ground. Big hole on the right side for Crowley. Ball comes out, and Carroll says they have it, and they do. The handoff was taken by the sophomore running back, Joseph Banks. I believe his first touch of the night, and he loses it when he gets hit by this Dragon defense. Carroll forces the turnover.
He had all the running room on the right side of the field. He was heading to daylight. Not a lot of people there on the back end of the Dragon defense in a key, difficult situation for that sophomore. You got to hold on, have ball security. Terrific job by the Dragon defense of being aware and making a play on the ball, creating a turnover.
Turnovers brought to you by Paragon Designs. Turn over your next remodel or new home design to Paragon Designs. So this offense gets the ball back not too far from where they turned it over on downs after that missed field goal. 3 receivers to the right, ball at the 35, 1 to the left. Renda looking to throw, has a good pocket, floats it down the left sideline, just out of the reach of the intended receiver, Brody Knowles. He was running step for step with the Crowley corner. It'll be second down.
We've seen this a few times with Knowles on 1-to-1 there on the left side on the perimeter. Renda likes that matchup, and so does Dodge. Getting out there into the 6'5", 6'6" receiver and trying to make a play. More often than not, he's going to come down with that again. But a second down opportunity here for the Dragon offense.
Knowles very wide splits all the way near the sideline on the Crowley side. They sling it to Boyd in the right flat. Boyd spinning out of one tackle, but a gang of white jerseys is there to meet him at the 30-yard line. Gain of about 5.
Yeah, we talk about the closing speed on this Crowley defense. They can close the ball very, very quickly, and the opportunities they've gotten beat has been over the top tonight. But you can see they can run sideline to sideline. They can collapse. A lot of team speed on the back end of that defense and also the front.
3rd and 5. 6.5 minutes to go in the third. Renda picks up a low snap, has under pressure, and will throw it away on the Crowley sideline on that 3rd down opportunity. Let's see if they let Strange try a long field goal here or if they choose to go for it on 4th down. It looks like Riley Dodge is going to leave the offense on the field on 4th and 5 from the 30. Knowles, lone receiver on the left side. Boyd, lone receiver on the right. They've got coverage shaded over toward Knowles with a safety. Renda takes the snap, looking to throw. Throwing right side for Boyd. There's a flag out. Boyd hauled it in anyway. And there may be a pass interference call on Ford coming here. But it is going to be a 1st down either way.
Or it could be a push-off.
Pass interference, defense, number 6.
Yeah, Crowley saying the push off. You said the Dragons pass interference. And again,
First
that's
down.
a matchup between Ford and Boyd that we've seen all night. It's a very physical one.
So a Dragon Den first down for Carroll inside the 25-yard line of the Eagles.
First and 10 from the 22-yard line.
Ball to 22. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They've got a tight end in the game on the left side of the formation. On first down, Penn gets it running right. Big hole is going to be dragged down by the hips. It'll be about a 5-yard gain. Tackle made by Derek Ober. 2nd and 5 coming up here for Carroll. From the 17. Ball on the right hash, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Renda looks to the sideline. Moves Fraga in motion right to left. They'll give it to Davis again, picking his way through the line. As he nears the 15, they'll mark him down at the 16. 3rd down upcoming here for Carroll. And Robert, Dragons in this half, their couple of possessions so far have been taking a lot of time off the clock.
Well, I think that's what Riley wants to do. He wants to bleed this clock a little bit, keep that defense off the field and just wear down this front of Crowley. Trying to go to the run game here, trying to establish something here on the inside. They're not getting the big openings in terms up front, but they're bleeding the clock, which is just as important.
Biggers into the game at running back. 2 receivers left, Boyd to the right. Renda looking to throw, is going to float one up for Boyd in the end zone. It is incomplete as he was bumped off the route by Ford before he could get a clean release from the line. So 4th down coming up, and they're going to give the field goal another shot here as Strange trots onto the field. It'll be about a 33-yard try. So again, Strange on the kick. Hayes, the holder. Williford, the deep snapper from the right hash. Snap is down. Kick is up. And he missed it again. Strange punches his fist into his other hand in frustration after missing a couple of field goals here in this 3rd quarter. And the Dragons turn it over on downs again.
Yeah, it's tough. It's never easy, especially as a carrier. You're almost getting as many attempts as you've had all year and seemingly just pushing it to the left just a little bit. We got a little bit of a breeze coming down this way into where the Dragons were marching in the end zone on that kick.
And Strange getting a couple of reps in here. Now he stays on the field to play his safety position on 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 3 receivers to the right. They go that way to set up a screen. Pass is complete behind the line of scrimmage. Moving along that Crowley sideline and out of bounds is Wilcher. Short gain on the play.
Great job by Luke Bussman on collapsing there on the left side, coming down and making the big play before they could get up and get vertical on that reception. Again, talk about the swarming mentality of this Dragon defense. They've been doing it all night.
2nd and 8, 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. They set up a quarterback run here. Griffin has the running back leading the way, keeps his legs churning, and is going to make it 3rd and short as he goes along the right side of the field down to the 29. Landon Harris on the stop. It'll be 3rd and 1. Run the same play. Griffin tucks it, keeps those legs moving, picks up the 1st down. They're putting a lot in the hands of this sophomore quarterback here in the second half.
I think they're finding something with Griffin as well, Chris. I mean, I think I'm not sure what happened with Kennedy and Lowe, but Griffin has come in and he's playing admirably. And, for a sophomore, he's moving this offense. He's taking control, taking command, and picking up some key 1st downs.
Griffin will throw on 1st down. Has time. Scrambles out to his left. Trying to set his feet. Going to be hit as he throws. And I believe this is going to be ruled an incomplete pass. Could have been awfully close to being a fumble as Jake Lucky came in and delivered the hit, but it flutters to the turf along the far sideline. It'll be second down.
Chris, that wasn't just a hit. That was pretty much a decleater on what Lucky did. And that's, again, talk about the experience of the quarterback coming back, running, then going again against the grain. You don't know who's there when you turn around, and Lucky delivered a shot.
2nd and 10 from the 32. Send a tight end in motion left to right. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Griffin rolling out to the right. Going to try to throw on the run. Now hits the gas as he tucks it and goes out of bounds along the Crowley sideline. Let's see where they mark him. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Oh, they're going to say he stepped out close to the line of scrimmage. It looked like he turned up field. But it's still 3rd and 10. Doesn't appear to be any disagreement from the far sideline, so Crowley coaches must have seen the same thing. 3rd and 10, 2 receivers each side. Carroll rushes 4. Griffin under pressure, throws over the middle, incomplete. Was looking for Wiltshire, but it hits the turf. It'll be 4th and 10. And even down 3 scores this deep in your own territory, figure you got to punt it, and it looks like they will.
Yeah, terrific job by Marcus Browse. And you just talk about him as one of the senior leaders on that defense. Just done a terrific job all year. Just been phenomenal, just applying pressure, putting his hand on the ground, coming back to the linebacker, and then a huge shot on the quarterback on 3rd down.
So they will punt on 4th down here. Brown the punter. Harris back to receive. Gets it away. Another short kick. Harris telling everyone to get away from it. Hit near a Dragon player, but Carroll had the wherewithal to get away from the ball. It does take an eagle roll all the way down to the Dragon 32-yard line, and that's where Angelo Renda and company will retake the field after a 35-yard punt. A few other playoff games going on tonight, including a game that the winner of this one will play in round 2. That is San Angelo Central and El Paso Pebble Hills. Central leading that one 17-7 in the 3rd quarter.
Wow.
Some other good ones tonight. 6A Division I, Allen and Louisville. Tough first-round draw for the Farmers.
Yep.
Eagles lead that one 14-3. They've knocked Louisville out of the playoffs the last 2 years in the first round. Gunter motions out to the left on 1st down. They go up the middle. Harris spinning out of a tackle across the 40-yard line, 45, and out of bounds along the Eagles or the Dragon sideline. Flag comes in late, but Parker Harris with the ball in his hands makes things happen.
I tell you what, that burst of speed, incredible by Parker Harris.
See what the call is on that late penalty. Three of the officials talking things over right at the 40.
Personal foul, defense number 6. Participating in the play without a helmet. 15-yard penalty for his own safety. 1st down.
Brandon Ford's helmet came off, and he did what the competitive instinct would kind of just draw you to do, but it is a penalty.
It's a tough call. Tough call. I don't know how I feel about that one, Chris. You can take the helmet off, but you can't take the competitive spirit out. Tough call for Ford.
So 1st and 10. Ball now inside the 40-yard line of the Eagles after that 15-yard penalty. 2 receivers to the left. Renda takes the snap, hands it to Penn. It's going to be hit near the line of scrimmage, picks up a yard up to the 35. Jaden Terry, that senior defensive end you mentioned early in the game, on the tackle. Renda will throw on 2nd and 9. Right sideline looking for Boyd. Has him, and he's dragged out of bounds by Butler, or by Ford rather, along the Carroll sideline. It'll be third down.
Good protection up front. Again, Renda just knowing where he's going. He's going to see Brock Boyd out to the right. Boyd comes back on a comeback route against Ford, makes the catch. Ford there to stop any type of yards after catch.
Third down, Mackey motions out to the left. 3 receivers left. Renda looking to throw. Has a pocket. Steps up. Plenty of running room across the 30. He could go all the way. Inside the 15. Angelo inside the 10. Trying to cut it upfield inside the 5. Reaches across the pylon and into the end zone for a touchdown. An electrifying run. Maybe the highlight of the year for the Carroll senior quarterback. And it's 27-0.
There is a reason why Angel Renda is being considered as National Player of the Year, and he showed it on that play. That's all Angelo Renda. That's all instincts. Incredible job on getting out of the pocket, stepping up, finding the green. Not only that, but making multiple Crowley defenders miss, finding the corner of the left end zone. Touchdown Dragons.
Renda's 7th rushing touchdown of the year, a 33-yard run as Strange puts through the extra point. And it is good. Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. Extra points by CLC Roofing. 1:40 to go in the third quarter. It's Carroll 28, Crowley nothing in the bi-district round on the Dragons Sports Network.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Gavin Strange kicks this one into the end zone for a touchback with 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Dragons on top 28-0. Robert, we were just talking about how Carroll was bleeding some clock. Well, the last drive, 4 plays, 65 yards, 50 seconds.
Well, it's what we talk about Angelo Renda, and he's such a multi-dimensional quarterback where he's really developed it over this year. Last year he was hampered by a turf toe majority of the season. Really couldn't get out there and exploit it. But I tell you what, when it's not there, the coverage is there, he can drop down and run, and he does an amazing job at it.
33-yard rushing touchdown. He probably ran closer to 55, 60 yards on the play, going sideline to sideline as on first down, Griffin trying to get out behind a convoy of blockers. Picks up about 3 on the play up to the 28.
Yeah, you've seen this Crowley offense. They hide their identity is the power game. They're going to pull a lot of linemen, try to get some back blocks and create mismatches. But the Dragons are doing a great job on just maintaining their gaps.
On second down, they give it to the junior running back, Kenyon Cotton, up to the 30-yard line. He picks up 2. It'll be 3rd and 5. Lucky on the stop, and Lucky's had a nice game on the interior for Carroll.
I tell you, he's really dominated right there in between the A gap, and that's a difficult situation. But you maintain those gaps, you allow the linebackers to run free, and they can make the plays over the top, which they have today. And Jake Lucky, again, hats off. What he does there sometimes goes unnoticed, but terrific job.
Dragons show blitz, back it off. Griffin looking to throw, looking left, gets it completed to Ellis across the 30-yard line, out of bounds near the 35, going to be close to a first down. They're going to give it to him, marking in at the 36. But the Dragons, for the most part, have held Ellis in check tonight. He's had a few tough catches, but
he was hot early on the first 2 drives, and they dwindled down just a little bit. They had some opportunities that put them behind the chains. But, you can definitely see the athleticism from Ellis and what he brings to the table to this Crowley offense. And again, Griffin, just being that sophomore quarterback, he's had some success finding him tonight.
Just 4 catches for 22 yards so far for the junior. On first down, they give it to the sophomore running back, Joseph Banks, puts his head down and gets to the 40-yard line. Banks is the one who had that costly fumble for Crowley earlier in this quarter, and that may be and should be the final play of the third, unless Crowley snaps the ball here again. They're lined up, 6 seconds on the clock. They will snap it, get it into the flat, hit behind the line, and brought down. Might have been better off waiting for the fourth quarter as Ellis makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage. Ellis makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage and is hit immediately for a loss. So 3 quarters down, 1 to go at Dragon Stadium. The score after 3. Carroll 28, Crowley nothing in the bi-district round of the playoffs on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
It'll be 3rd and long for Crowley starting the fourth quarter. 3rd and 9 from their own 37-yard line after a loss on a play that could have waited for this quarter, as Antavius Ellis made a catch behind the line and was dropped for a loss of about 3, putting him in 3rd and a little bit longer. So they break the huddle with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, tight end to the right side of the formation. They bring Butler in motion right to left. Try to flea flicker. Griffin looking down the middle of the field. It's caught by one of the tight ends inside the 30-yard line of the Dragons as Jordan Childress hauls it in. And they go to a trick play right out of the gate in the 4th and convert it for a first down.
They barely got the play off. They almost got tackled in the backfield before the pitchback happened. But again, catching the Dragon defense sleeping just a little bit. Great play call by Coach Lynn.
37 yards. Griffin looking to throw, looking for Ellis. Got him on a slant over the middle inside the 15-yard line. Flags fly. I think 3 of them came in.
Face mask, defense, number 1. Half the distance to the goal, penalty, first down.
Of course, that's
so they've got Brock Boyd in there on the defensive side here against Ellis.
He's out playing corner, trying to match up athleticism to athleticism.
As Crowley trying to get into the end zone for the first time inside the 10-yard line. They hand it to Cotton, trying to bounce it outside inside the 10. He's hit inside the 5 and dropped at the 1. Physical run.
Very physical.
By Kenyon Cotton. Big hit by the Dragon defense.
Kenyon Cotton tackled on the 1-yard line by number 25, Kevin Strange.
So it'll be 1st and goal here after a Dragon Den first down. Cotton in the backfield, gonna get it here on first down. Dragons get him behind the line and push him back. A loss on the play with Jake Lucky, Parker Harris, and Robbie Ladd involved on the stop.
Again, those names we've been calling all night, and really for the past 2 years, Jake Lucky and Robbie Ladd disrupting the backfield. Again, this Dragon defense has been not breaking mentality.
3rd and goal now. Lost a yard on the last play. They bring a receiver in motion. Griffin will throw, looking to pass, pumps once. Has a swarm of black jerseys around him and is hit before he can reach out for the goal line. Robbie Ladd will lines on the stop.
What a great job. We're not talking a lot about it, but Brock Boyd, Griffin wanted to go to Ellis there on an out route there in the end zone, and Boyd shut it down. He had nowhere else to go other than to escape and try to run. Great job by the Dragon defense. And look at Brock Boyd out there making plays and making a difference on this Dragon defense.
It'll be 4th down and goal. They're going to go for it. Ball is at the 2. 2 receivers left. Tight end on each side, Cotton in the backfield. They're going to give it to Cotton again, pushing forward up the middle. He is into the end zone for a touchdown on one side. The play is blown dead on the other side, I believe.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield, offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, 4th down.
Crowley has shot itself in the foot in a big way a couple of times in the second half in particular, and that one negates a touchdown.
That's a tough one. Because I got the same call on my youth team last Saturday. 5 men in the backfield. My offensive tackle was in the backfield.
Timeout, Crowley, their first of the second half.
Crowley calls its first second half timeout. We'll take it as well with 9:29 to go in the fourth quarter. It's Carroll 28 and Crowley nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
So 4th down and 7. They're going to go for it because 28-0 is the score. Dragons on top. 1 receiver to the left. Boyd still in the game in a cornerback position for the Dragons. Griffin looking to throw on 4th down. Heavy pressure. He's not going to get the throw off. He is sacked. Ball comes out. Are they going to rule that he was down? I think they are. Robbie Ladd picking it up. But Griffin is ruled down. Either way, Crowley turns it over on downs, and the Dragons come up with a red zone stop.
Incredible job by Crawford Taylor. Again, Griffin had nowhere to go. Everything was covered by this Dragon defense. Tries to step up. Crawford Taylor's there. Makes a huge play.
So Carroll ball up 28-0 now with 9:21 to go in the fourth quarter. And with the Dragons stopping the Eagles at the doorstep, feels like that may have been the final momentum swing in favor of Carroll. Brock Boyd out wide to the right. Davis Penn in the backfield alongside Angelo Renda. Tight end to the right side of the formation. 1 receiver to the left. Dragons look to the sideline for a new play call. Now Renda will take the snap. Give it to Penn, running right up the middle across the 20. Spins out of a tackle and falls forward to the 24-yard line.
I love giving it to Davis Penn. It's just nothing more than an inside zone to the left, getting behind Nathan Domrocky, Kerry Clayton, and Will Barley. Terrific combination block by Domrocky and Clayton, moving on to the second level to the middle backer, taking care of the defensive lineman, creating the hole for Davis Penn. Great burst.
It's a Dragon Den first down. Ball in the left hash with 2 receivers to the right. Boyd comes in motion to the slot right. 1 receiver left. Now Gunter motions out of the backfield. Renda looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, rolling right, has all kinds of running room in front of him across the 30-35, slides to a stop across the 40-yard line. He took out Blake Gunter in the process, and they'll mark him at the 38.
What I love about that, as Renda sees the pressure, again, his escapability, he gets it up the field, but you saw Blake Gunter just nonstop holding his man, blocking, not knowing that Renda's behind him. Great effort.
1st and 10. From the 38, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Renda now with 65 rushing yards today. Throws it out into the flat from Mackey on the left side. Across the 40-yard line, 45, dives forward to the 50. And again, bodies flying all over the place as these Carroll receivers just do not let go of their blocks.
Well, it's physical, and if you're this Carroll team, you got to be wary not to get in these chippy matchups. You're going to start seeing a little bit from Crowley. This is theoretically possibly the end of their season. You can't participate in those games. You got to get off the block, go back to the huddle.
Ball right at midfield after a Dragon Den first down. On the left hash, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left-hand side. Penn and Renda in the backfield with 7:55 to go. In this one, Renda throwing it into the flat. Mackey hit in the backfield and dropped immediately. Great read on the play by Zakai Briggs for the Eagles.
Good job by Briggs on just getting separation and getting contact and getting Mackey down to the ground. Again, this defense has got a lot of speed. They're a physical group, and I think we've seen that all night.
Loss of 3 on the play. Crowley involved in a couple of close games. Very easily could have wound up as the 4th playoff team without benefit of the tiebreaker as they give it to Penn on 2nd down. Picks up about 5 across midfield again to the Eagle 48.
Again, staying on the ground, trying to pick up the yards, keep this clock moving. What Riley Dodge wants to do, bleed this clock.
In particular, a 28-27 overtime loss to Boswell. Probably one they would have loved to have back, but Carlos Lynn said he was more nervous watching the Lake Ridge outcome the final Friday night of the season than he was playing against North Crowley the night before in their rivalry game. On 3rd down, Renda over the middle. Knowles dropped it. It was 1st down yardage across the 40, and it will be 4th down for Carroll.
Yeah, it was a great separation by Knowles, and it seemingly just muffed the catch and almost had it. I know he wants that back, but again, this is a Crowley defense that has forced some situations for the Dragon punt team to be out. We haven't really seen them a lot this year.
Yeah, Zach Hayes on to punt.
Zach Hayes to punt.
He only punted 12 times during the regular season. He gets this one away. Again, committed to Louisiana Tech as a punter. It'll bounce inside the 15-yard line and go out of bounds. Great kick by Zach Hayes as he pins Crowley back at the 11-yard line. A 37-yard punt. Robert was doing a little research before the game today. Carlos Lynn has some experience against the Dragons. Was the defensive coordinator at Cedar Hill. Cedar Hill team that was eliminated from the playoffs a couple of times during his tenure. 07 team of the Dragons knocked out Cedar Hill in the 2nd round of the playoffs. It was when Joey McGuire was the head coach there. Is on 1st down. They keep it on the ground to the Eagles across the 20 or across the 15 to the 16. Goes to Cameron Turner, the junior running back.
13, Brody Boubois.
Again, Lynn was not the head coach at Crowley the last time these two teams met. That was 3 years ago. That was a year before he got there when Carroll knocked Crowley out in the 1st round of the playoffs, 52-13. Turner getting it again. Spins away from a tackle, but is still going to be brought down in the backfield. Swarm of jerseys getting there for the Dragons. Marcus Browse among them.
Yeah, I think, if you're Coach Lynn, you're looking at this team as you've got some talent. You have some building blocks. You've got a sophomore running back and a sophomore quarterback have played quite a bit tonight. You've got a lot of special players, at the skill positions that will be back. One of them being Ellis, number 1, the receiver who's committed to Nebraska. Majority of their offense will be coming back. They'll have to have some replacements on the offensive line.
3rd down and 8. Griffin under pressure is going to try to run up the middle. Ladd grabs hold of him, and he is leveled at the end of the play by Gavin Strange. Ladd held him up, and Strange came in to finish it off. Or was it Landon Harris? Landon Harris with the big hit for the Dragons, but Robbie Ladd with the good open field tackle to stop Griffin. It'll be 4th down.
Huge stop again. This Dragon defense, we've talked about the bend and break mentality, but they've done it tonight again on another series. Seemingly, it's a very talented group that we're seeing in this Dragon defense again. A defense that's only averaging, giving up 7.5 points, 7.4 points a game. Historically, you're a pretty solid defense if you're doing that, Chris.
Stephen Brown on to punt it away. Low kick, going to be fielded by Boyd at the 45. He'll return it across the 35-30. Lots of running room inside the 20. Boyd could take it all the way inside the 5. Touchdown, Dragons. A 45-yard punt return for Brock Boyd. And Carroll leads it 34-0.
Again, speed kills. You put it in your most dynamic player in Brock Boyd. Again, we're talking about playing special teams. He's out there playing kick returner. He's playing cornerback. He's playing receiver. He's doing everything he can for this Dragon team to get a W on the board. Tremendous job, Brock Boyd.
Last couple of touchdowns for the Dragons have just been highlight reel plays as Carroll puts on a show in the second half here against Crowley. Strange on for the point after try, brought to you by CLC Roofing. The kick is up and it is good. Touchdowns all brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. 4:11 to go in the 4th. It's Carroll 35 and Crowley nothing in the by-district round on the Dragon Sports Network.
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Carroll leads 35-0 with just over 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Gavin Strange will kick it away after the Brock Boyd punt return for a touchdown. For Boyd, his 2nd touchdown of the game, had one receiving as well, and this kickoff will land in the end zone for a touchback. Well, Robert, we've seen Boyd now return a punt. We've seen him, of course, at wide receiver. We've seen him play quarterback. Is cornerback.
We might see him at quarterback.
Let me enunciate a little bit more. We've seen him out of the backfield. Is this a case of, as you get into the playoffs, you're putting your best athletes wherever you can?
I think it's also matchup driven, right? Brock Boyd is one of the most dynamic athletes in the state of Texas, in the country, and just have him on the field anywhere is dynamic. And I think you just got to have it. You've got to put your best players on the field. This is the playoffs, and you've got to do those type of things.
1st and 10, 2 receivers to the right. They'll throw to the left. Ellis makes the catch right at the sticks and steps out of bounds. It'll be a gain of about 10 to the 35-yard line. Brody Bourgeois on the stop. They'll actually give him 11 on the play, marked at 36. 1st and 10 after the Dragon Den first down. 2 receivers right. They hand it to the sophomore running back Banks, running left side, stopped at the line of scrimmage, where he is hit by Sam Erickson on the stop as the second defense is on for the Dragons. Defensive line, Erickson, Kyle Duras, Caden Hodges, Nate Martin. Flags fly before this second down snap. They're going to get a false start on the Eagles.
False start, offense number 55. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's the right tackle, Timothy Martin. Backs him up 5 on second down. Well, San Angelo Central still leading El Paso Pebble Hills 24-14. That game into the fourth quarter now. That would be the second round opponent. On second and long, they keep it on the ground, still on his feet, still keeping those legs turning. Across the original line of scrimmage all the way to the 39-yard line is Cameron Turner. A hard run for the junior. Makes it third and manageable.
Yeah, tremendous job by Crowley. You know, you talk about the youth on this team, Chris. There's some guys in the spots that are going to be back next year. They're going to be competitive. They came off a solid year last year, and they're going to be a team to compete with over the next few years.
Griffin throwing on third down over the middle. It's caught with some running room down the right sideline and going out of bounds as he got inside the 25-yard line of the Dragons is Marion Butler. And Bourgeois finally makes the stop. Gain of 40.
We got a regime change. We have the whole, I think, first-team defense came back onto the field.
After a couple of big plays. Griffin throwing it into the flat. It's caught by Wilcher. He goes out of bounds along the far sideline at the 15-yard line. Strange pushed him out of bounds with 2:47 to play. You know, the Dragons would love to keep that 0 on the board. They've already come up with one goal line stand tonight. Trying to get another red zone stop here. 3 receivers right on second down. Griffin pumps, tucks it, running up the middle, runs into a wall of black jerseys and is going to be pushed backwards. Forward progress finally whistled dead after a gain of maybe a yard as they let him stay up for a while there. I thought they would have blown that dead a little earlier. Meanwhile, Carroll player is slow to get up. Is Crawford Taylor. Looks like he may be dealing with a cramp here. He walks it off. Starting to get a little more mobility in that left leg the more he moves it and walks off the field, but you can tell he was just trying to stretch it out down on the turf.
Crawford Taylor, he's had a lot of huge moments tonight and all season. His motor never stops.
Under 2.5 to go. 2 receivers to each side. Running back in the backfield alongside Griffin. Low snap, picks it up. Going to run it himself across the 10. It'll be a first down at the 7-yard line. All first downs tonight brought to you by the Dragon Den. Robert, I went down there before the game today. Got a nice,
you look sharp.
Dragon green.
You look sharp.
Over.
Slowly converting you to full-blooded Dragon.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Got my playoff wristband that you brought me for the game as well.
Wear it with pride, my friend.
All the way.
Wear it with pride.
2-minute timeout in the second half. Carroll looking to punch its ticket to the area round. 35-0 the score. Back in a moment on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Two minutes to go here at Dragon Stadium. Carroll on top of Crowley, 35-0. Carroll looking to win its 28th straight first-round playoff game. It's been that long since Carroll has lost a first-round game, but would love to keep a 0 on the board here for the Eagles as well. On first and goal, Griffin looking to throw along the far sideline. It is incomplete. He was looking for Ellis. Robert, the last time Carroll lost a first-round game was 1995. Pretty good.
I remember that game. I was at that game. That's actually my older brother's senior year. They went 10-0 in the regular season and lost to Fort Worth Everman at Pennington Field. It was a shocker to all.
2nd and 6. Griffin flushed. Dropped, sacked by the Dragons. Carroll continuing to get to him. Jake Lucky again getting up from the bottom of that pile.
What a force. What an immovable force Jake Lucky is. Just one of the heart and souls of this Dragon defense. We talk about, skill players, linebackers, a lot of get the glory, but, Jake Lucky brings his lunch pail each and every Friday night. He just goes to work, it does his job, clocks in and clocks out.
3rd and goal back at the 9. All sacks brought to you by Life's Medicine on Southlake Boulevard. Griffin to throw. Has time. Tucks it, trying to run to the right across the 10-yard line inside the 5. Going to be stopped shy of the goal line by Zach Hayes. It'll be 4th and goal with under a minute to play. You would imagine Crowley goes for it here, seeing if they can get into the end zone in the final minute of this one. Lucky and Lines running back onto the field for
timeout, Crowley.
For the final play of this one, we'll keep it here as Crowley calls a timeout. Timeouts brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. Let's take a look at some of the other matchups tonight. Told you Allen was leading Louisville. That is still the case. Now 14-9 in the fourth quarter. That's in 6A Division 1. 6A D2, a team that Carroll would not see until the semis, but DeSoto all over Copperas Cove, 63-6 in the fourth. Potential third-round opponent, Prosper, up on Hebron, 56-17 in the fourth quarter. And not in 6A, but locally, Aledo leading Saginaw, 63-6. Frisco Reedy leading Carrollton Creekview, 24-3. Denton Ryan up on Chisholm Trail, 59-7.
Chris, that Allen Louisville game is even though it's in the
Am I
Division
behind
One,
on the score? Nope, still 14-9.
Well, still 14-9, but you're talking about the number 2 team in the state, number 1 out of that district in Louisville, number 14.
So 4th and goal. Griffin looking to throw. Hit as he throws. Lofts it into the end zone. It's incomplete. And it looks like Carroll will come away with another shutout.
What a stand by this Dragon defense all night long, holding this Crowley offense out of the end zone. What an effort. What a job by defensive coordinator Lehman.
Since a 63-28 win over Keller in week 6, the Dragons have given up a total of 17 points in 5 games.
Wow.
And one of those touchdowns, we've talked about a bunch, but was on a kick return. So really the defense has surrendered 10 points over the last 5 games. 35 seconds left. Carroll should be able to run one play and put this one in the win column. Renda takes the snap. Hands the ball to Davis Penn. Runs out of bounds, so they will have to snap it one more time. You can see the coaching staff along the Carroll sideline a little frustrated that Penn went out of bounds.
There's not much you can do. Either you fall straight to the ground or you just, you have a gentle out of bounds. Again, they'll put it on the ground here as well.
It looks like they're in formation to take a knee this time now that they're out of their own end zone. Renda takes the snap, takes a knee, and the Dragons will move on to the area round for the 28th time in a row that they've been in the playoffs. There's only been a couple of years out of the playoffs in that stretch, but they have not lost a first-round game now in 28 opportunities. Carroll wins it 35-0 over Crowley tonight.
Incredible job by the Dragons. And even though, again, we've said it all night, this Crowley team, only 3 wins on the season. But I think you can definitely see, Chris, they're not just a 3-win team. They've got some talent and a great test for the first round for the Dragons.
So Carroll will go on to play the winner of Pebble Hills High School out of El Paso or Central High School out of San Angelo. We will await the winner of that game in round 2. As we'll take a break here, come back, talk a little bit about what else is going on in the area, and look ahead to next week's game. Once again, the final score, Dragons 35, Eagles 0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium in Southlake, where Carroll defeats Crowley 35-0 in the bi-district round of the playoffs. Carroll will move on and take on the winner of El Paso, Pebble Hills, and San Angelo Central. But Robert, before we talk about this one, there is a potential upset brewing with the second-ranked team in the state.
You got Louisville ahead of Allen right now at 15-14, Chris.
That one is in the fourth quarter. See if the Eagles can mount a comeback here. Again, Carroll ranked first in the state in 6A. Allen ranked second. The top two teams in the area. Again, Allen has squeaked out a win as in one tight game this year against Prosper, trying to do it again to get out of the first round. But Carroll, again, moving on to the second round. And take a look at some of the numbers from this one. Carroll, 363 yards of total offense tonight, 214 through the air, 149 on the ground. Angelo Renda goes 15 of 25, a couple of touchdown passes, no interceptions. Top targets, Brock Boyd, 9 catches for 125 yards and a touchdown. Blake Gunter, 3 for 55 and a touchdown. On the ground for the Dragons, Renda, 5 rushes for 65 yards and a touchdown. And that touchdown run was a thing of beauty from Angelo Renda. Brooks Biggers had the other rushing touchdown for Carroll. 3 carries on 7 yards for him, and Davis Penn, 15 carries for 42 yards. Carroll's defense gives up 275 total yards to the Eagles, but does not allow them into the end zone. 113 on the ground, 162 through the air. But Robert, talking about making a deep run in the postseason, some things for Carroll that you said could use a little bit of tweaking that moving into round 2.
Yeah, I think when you play a team like Crowley, they're very athletic. They can create some matchup problems. When they can play sideline to sidelines, it's like as you go through the playoffs, each of these first few round teams are going to have a little bit of something that you haven't seen majority of the season. And as you build in the playoffs, you're going to start finding more complete teams that they're going to be more difficult to go against. Now, what you'd love to see tonight was this defense, bending but not breaking. I think there's some things on film on offensively that they're going to go back and review, and I think on blocking, especially up front, getting to the second level, creating those holes of death. I think there's some passes that you wish you could take back and some catches. But all in all, we're talking a 35-0
right.
win.
We're nitpicking. On the flip side, what were some of the things you liked?
I loved the competition. I mean, I really loved it. I mean, I'm not trying to piggyback what I just said, but I do love the competition. What I love to see, I love the execution on the special teams instead of the field goals. But I did like just the overall mentality of this Dragon team, especially the defense. Stepping up, making plays, and then calling on your veterans to be out there in star moments, like a Brock Boyd playing corner, returning kicks. Being a guy going against a Division I commit and not backing down and doing those things. So there's a lot of positive, but I think there's some learning and growth from this game too that you can take back and learn from it. The good thing is they played on a Thursday. Okay,
right.
We don't know when next week's game is again. It's probably going to be Friday or Saturday. Okay, and then you're going to be able to move on. You don't know. You essentially don't know where that's going to be, played at. You got a little more break to recover and game plan for.
Well, some of the other teams in the playoffs out of District 4-6A at the Division II level, it'll be Byron Nelson hosting Mansfield tomorrow night. At the Division I level, Trinity is at Lake Ridge. Again, these two districts match up with each other. Lake Ridge is in the playoffs for the first time since 2018, and then Keller draws the tough task of playing at North Crowley tomorrow night. North Crowley, of course, the defending 6A Division I state champions. So it was a tough district in 3-6A this year, especially at the top. North Crowley and Lake Ridge both had very good years, and Mansfield and Crowley sneak into the playoffs after North Crowley and Lake Ridge kind of shook out the same way 4-6A has the last couple of years. There were a couple of teams at the top that beat everybody else, and then there was a scramble for those last couple of spots.
And typically you'll find that. I mean, again, in very competitive districts, I mean, you're going to have the lead horses there leading the way, and then some of these teams are going to scramble to find their way. But I definitely think Crowley was a deserving playoff team. Just from the way they can play. And the future's bright for Coach Lynn and this team. They got a young team. They got some guys returning. They're going to be forced in that district next year.
One other playoff game we should mention. Tomorrow, the Carroll volleyball team in the state semifinals. Saturday. Excuse. I'm thinking it's Friday because we've got football, but it's on Saturday in Haltom City.
Huge game. This is only the third time the Lady Dragons have made the semifinals, still in search of their first state championship in volleyball. They've got a group that is undoubtedly very talented, very spectacular. They're on a hot streak right now. It's a fun team to watch. If you're not doing anything on Saturday, 1 p.m., it'd be an incredible matchup versus Tomball. the winner goes to state.
Congratulations to the 7 Lady Dragons who signed Division I letters of intent or commitments this week, including to your niece. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Incredible. And all those ladies, they've, you talk about that group, they've been together for a while. They just put so much effort and heart in their craft, and they've done a terrific job and earned the opportunity to play at the next level. And I think that's the key thing of all these ladies, that they've earned the opportunity to play. And what a magical day it was the other day.
Well, one final check. Actually, it's just gone finals. San Angelo Central has beaten Pebble Hills 24-14. So that will be the next opponent for the Dragons. Date, time, place, TBD.
TBD.
Keep an eye on all the Dragon football social media channels for that information. You would assume we'll find that out at some point tomorrow. So once again, the final score here in the first round game. Carroll over Crowley 35-0 as the Dragons go to 11-0 on the year. For our director, Tim Polster, statistician, Brandy Davidson, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying goodnight from Dragon Stadium. Carroll's moving on to the second round. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight on the Dragon Sports Network.
This week's Dragon football broadcast has been brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell Briggs Freeman Sotheby's, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm Fidelity National Title, Recoat Revolution, The Mark Southlake, Life's Medicine, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, Hearst Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, The Dragon Den, and Mills Wealth Management. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons.